talked to Kevin Harvick. Watch these cow flaps flip up on Joey Logano on the front. He said you're not doing a good enough job pushing if them cow flaps aren't. That's negative air pressure on there, pulls those cow flaps up. As he gets away from Kyle Larson in front of him, you won't. But as soon as he gets close enough, watch his cow flap. He needs to get closer, Tony. I'm trying to show the world.
He's not there yet.
There he is.
Now watch this. See it starting to flip right there?
All right, I'm live again. Hallelujah, I fixed it. My stream actually died. No, my computer died, excuse me. So I had to reset it. We're now 7 laps in. Larson and Bowman still leading the field.
It's good intel. It's got to save fuel too. You know, when you're running at the front of the pack and you're pulling this charge, you are wide open. You have to be. They'll run you over, right? But if you're back there mid-pack, Tony, you can just be 30,
There's
40,
not going to be rain this time around.
Sometimes.
I can assure you that.
Let's get an update on the pole sitter from Jamie.
Well, Mike, you guys were talking about Alex Bowman. They did have a different direction than their teammates coming in. They wanted this pole. They focused only on qualifying. It wasn't until Friday they actually put it in race trim just to see what they have. I was told they practiced aggressively to make sure they had something good that they could lead with, that the car was balanced, it drove well, and it was comfortable. Checked all those boxes, Mike.
Good enough for now, absolutely. Okay, if you watch iRacing or if you play iRacing, you all run around Daytona 3 wide on the safety of your computer. Why isn't somebody going out making the third lane trying to make something
I see, like,
happen?
right now the pack is starting to separate back to, I think that's
in the infield care center.
that Truexter Dylan. Back to like the bottom 13 cars or so. There's a degree of separation.
And after the qualifying races, talking to a lot of the drivers, as soon as you get out, these cars have so much drag in them to get all the way on and outside. I don't know that you can carry the momentum. I think there's going to be parts of the race where it will come into play, but this is way too early to really worry about getting 3 wide. These guys are wanting to settle in. They're wanting to get some laps on these tires. Like Clint mentioned, they got stickers. They want to sit there and try to just figure out what their balance is.
70
settle
laps.
in. They got a long day ahead of them still.
9 laps complete. Alex Bowman has 8 of them after Kyle Larson
We're
led
at
the
lap
first.
10, the 5% mark, and we're already at commercial. Fucking beautiful. Can we at least go side by side, Fox? Please? No. Great. You're just as unreliable as always. Anyway, now that my honestly, I'm probably gonna put down to 200 because my views weren't great yesterday. So far, we're all behaving ourselves according to the scoring. We're 11 laps in, no wrecks. And we're back on lap 13.
take a closer look at this steep banking at Daytona with Larry McReynolds and the Toyota Cutaway car.
Yeah, Mike, we certainly see cars spin out and get wrecked in the corners, but we see a lot of cars spin out and get wrecked on the straightaways here at Daytona. Let's use our Toyota Cutaway car. When it's in the corners, it's in 31 degrees of banking. The car is really loaded and pushed into the racetrack. But as it transitions off of turn 2 onto the flatter backstretch, it only has 3 degrees of banking. The car is light. It's not loaded. It doesn't have as much grip in the race car. That's why we see a car that just gets into another car because the car's light,
looks like we
spins
have a
it
lead
out.
change with
Maybe
Christopher
we
Bell
even see the
taking the
big
lead,
one
the
just
first
like we did
non-Hendrick
last
car.
night at the end of that Xfinity
Take
Series
the lead.
race.
Thanks, Larry. 13 complete. Christopher Bell on the top side made a wide high move off turn number 4.
And we missed it, because
And
we're
it's
talking
the
about
first time
Daytona.
a Toyota has led in the Cup Series in Speed Week so far.
They've been sneaky.
Really?
Make no mistake about it. They always have the handling
Bottom
and
line
the
looks like
speed
it's
to get
starting
the
to
job
fail
done
a
here.
bit.
Look no further than Denny Hamlin, but I'm telling you, Christopher Bell just keeps knocking on that door harder and harder and harder. It surprises me none at all to see him leading this pack. I'm going to go back to what Larry said real quick. He said the car gets light up off of it, and all the guys have been talking about it. Sometimes if your balance is loose, Tony, that thing really wants to step out. We saw that with the trucks and the Xfinity. But these guys have been talking about floating the nose and being tight.
Absolutely, and the two key areas of that in the corners are the entry and the exit. That's where you kind of go up and over the crown to get into the banking, and then same thing on the exit, especially the exit. If your car's tight at all, it gets to that.
Oh, man, I've missed the sound so
As soon as
much.
the right front catches, then it shears the back loose, and so that creates a big handful for these guys.
Well,
Hi,
2
Margo.
laps ago, Joey Logano's number 22.
I got one
got
on-
a little impatient
I
with
have no-
Kyle Larson on
I
the
don't know what
inside
you mean.
here.
Oh, yeah, showing us the lead change. Ooh, it was a big run on the
Ooh,
bottom.
Good push into 3, but the
Kyle got
problem,
loose. Now look at the run that Christopher Bell got. That is exactly why Christopher Bell got the lead.
Inside line coming back, though.
That'll get your attention.
and that's a really good illustration of what I talked to some crew chiefs. The way the drivers were talking about it, used to be we wanted to kind of flank off that right-hand side because what it did is it trapped the air to the right corner. Now, because of the skew in the cars, and the bodies are already pointed to the outside, when they get pushing on that corner, it just leverages it around even more. So they really want to be centered up to that push or even a little bit to the left now.
And Logano's reaction to that was...
Channel 5, I won't push up in the corners. Out of state, can't get the left. Now I know. Yeah, copy that.
And Larson back to the lead.
You know,
Lesson learned.
Unless
gonna
Bell
be
gets a
on
better
Kyle
run on the
Larson.
high side, and he
And
will.
Kyle Larson has a car that, although they qualified up front,
Hendrick hasn't
they've
won
been
this
working
race
on that
since
thing all week
2014
long to get it
when
where
Dale
they want
Earnhardt
it for
Jr. pulled
drafting.
off
And
his
you see
second
Joey
victory in
Logano,
this
as you
race.
guys just showed, keeps giving him those
They
pushes.
have some
When I came
fast
over the radio,
drivers
asked
going
him, "Are you
for it."
still good with the pushes you're getting from the 22?" He simply said, "Yep." That was all.
Yeah, guys, I've been watching the throttle on Kyle Larson in the 5. He is not really wide open at all anywhere around this racetrack. He keeps backing that car up to be able to get those pushes from the 22 car.
Interesting.
here is Larson's telemetry. Plenty of throttle, no hint of brake as Christopher Bell from Norman, Oklahoma. Midget and sprint car star before coming to the Xfinity and up to the Cup Series with Joe Gibbs Racing.
2017 Truck Series champion.
Outside 8.
There's Eric Jones,
Got a
2015
gap of 2
Truck Series
behind you, but the
champion.
31 don't go.
Back at 25th, Eric Jones. 23rd, Harrison Burton. In the middle of this snarling pack.
Well, Mike, you've been talking about the 22 at Joey Logano. That race car ran a lot of practice the past 2 days. More practice than you would think for a car that won his duel. They weren't overly happy with the handling of it. Crew Chief Paul Rose said they made some significant changes to get it a little better to connect the corner for today.
Estrada
so
and
far, that
Johnson,
has
who
worked
were
out only in
the
certain
last two, are at the
circumstances. That race
32nd
car
and
gets loose on him.
33rd.
Otherwise, he's happy with it.
Thanks, Regan. Bell continues out front of Alex Bowman. We welcome Guns N' Roses to the NASCAR jungle this weekend. They're on the 43 car, and they're going on tour this summer. Keep watching for more.
Best looking hot rod on the track.
You know where you are?
For you.
You're in the jungle, baby.
Guns N' Roses, live.
Jungle.
World Tour 2023.
I keep smelling like pecans, and I realized I forgot I have brownies in my drawer. Lemon brownies from dinner yesterday.
Check GunsNRoses.com.
Go ahead, eat those later.
Info.
Anyway, we're nearing lap 20, which is 10% of the way through this race already.
So, I watched my first race yesterday.
You're on the team, kid. It's orientation day.
Hey, new guy, let's get you up to speed.
Lunchtime.
A Toyota.
Hot. Ready for some real heat?
Hot rods.
Your workspace is ready.
Looks like you got a corner office. Lucky.
When you're part of Toyota Racing, you're part of something greater. Toyota, let's go places.
That rocking chair would look great in our new house.
Oh, a new house, eh? Well, you should definitely see how Geico could help you save on homeowners insurance.
Nice tip. I'll give you $2 for the chair.
2? That's a Victorian antique.
All right. How much for the recliner then?
Wait. How did that get out here? That is definitely not for sale.
Is this a yard sale?
If it's
All
in
right,
the yard,
we're on lap 21 now. Pastrana's fallen back, and so unfortunately,
It's easy to switch
so
and
has
save
Connor
on
Daly.
homeowners and
Johnson's
renters
broken into the
insurance.
top 30.
Papa John's just flipped pizza night on its head. This is the new
Larson's
crispy
back
parm
up front
pizza,
according to
and
the
it
last
puts
scoring
toasted
loop after on
Parmesan
lap
where
21.
it's never been before, on the bottom. Introducing the crispy parm pizza, only from Papa John's.
The Daytona 500 on Fox is sponsored by Toyota, Let's Go Places, and by the Credit One Bank NASCAR American Express card. 21 laps complete. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, powering the race from green to checkered flag and every mile in between. Goodyear, more driven. Kyle Larson leading Joey Logano and Christopher Bell, Chevy, Ford, Toyota in that order.
I got one for you. Biggest movers of the race, folks. No further than the 84
Johnson's made up 12 spots. Like I said, he started in 39th. So right now he's in 27th.
Here he comes. 7-time.
Kyle Busch has moved up 9,
Johnson
and Justin Haley's moved up 7 spots.
Each up almost 10 spots from starting in the last 2 rows of this 40-car field.
Now you can see starting to break up near the back half of the field.
23 laps into this stage.
A third lane starting to form. I see Priest on the outside. I think Bubba is... No, that's not Bubba. That's someone else.
If they're still handling well, Jimmy likes what he feels. Ty Gibbs likes what he feels. Reddick's on the way. These boys are coming.
Now take a look at the third car on the outside. That's the number 10 of Eric
Almirola. He's supposed to retire.
Haas Ford. He won his dual race here Thursday night. Regan.
Mike, one of the fastest cars all weekend long, but from the driver's seat right now, already some concerns over something he's seeing out the front windshield.
I got the hood gasket trying to blow out on the left side. 10-4.
So that's not the cow flaps that we were talking about on the 22 car. That's actually on the side of the hoods itself, in between the hood and the fender.
Here comes Bell back on the outside.
And those hoods get to bouncing around in that neutral air. If you bounce around too much, spits that gasket out. Might be a problem for them. They could probably tape that thing down, remedy the problem in the pits.
And Jimmy Johnson has moved up 11 spots since the start of this race. Jamie.
Mike, it's hard to believe he's been away from our sport for 2 years.
Oh, he's trying to pass
no,
he's battling with the dinger. That's 27.
The other night for qualifying, and he had a smile on his face and said, "I'm back, boys. This just feels like home." They worked on the car, made good progress, and it's showing up 11 spots, as you mentioned.
He's in 27th position right now. Ty Gibbs, the rookie and Xfinity champion, has moved up plus 12 from where he started all the way to 21st. We saw a little 3-wide racing in mid-pack, but not much. Things have kind of shuffled back to double file.
Well, Yeah, you're exactly right. And we talked about Jimmy Johnson, Ty Gibbs, you know, Tyler Reddick moving up. Well, okay, who went back? Ross Chastain, Zane Smith, Gilliland. You gotta ride. We talked about riding 500 miles. You got to survive. If your handling is going away right here, dip down to the back, ride in a place you can. And I think that's what was creating some of that 3 wide, just a little bit of shuffling.
I won't ask Tony since he's a Ford team owner, but Toyota, Clint, had not led a lap all week until now. Christopher Bell out front. Was that a smoke screen?
Well, hey, the Fords have been fast, strength in numbers. We talked about that. But you can never count out the guy that you can't ever forecast who's going to surprise you. And it didn't surprise me one bit that Gibbs camp showed up. Talk about it. Look at his teammate. Ty Gibbs is moving well. Those cars are going to be fast. I haven't won 3 of these Daytona 500s with Denny Hamlin for nothing.
Well, and we also mentioned that it's different when you split this field in half and you run the qualifying races with half the field. You split the majority of those Toyotas up, so there's not a lot of numbers, physical numbers to begin with. But then when you split them up into 2 even smaller groups, that hurts them in the qualifying races. Now with the entire field back intact, now they're in an even stake with everybody.
That's such a great point, and it's easy to overlook, Mike. When you're running those dual races and, you know, as little a practice as you have when you come down here to Daytona, the only thing you have to go off of to build that notebook is those duels. When you get out here with the whole pack, the air, the movement, everything else is way more amplified. Any little bit of a problem you ever was struggling with, it's going to be way worse now.
How fast is fast? Let's look at our Xfinity fastest lap of the race as Ty Dillon is on the apron, smoke coming out the pipes. Ty Gibbs, fastest lap of the race, 46.42. Ross Chastain, Connor
Ty
Daly,
Gibbs
Cody
the fastest
Ware
lap. Good for him.
Eric Jones.
Where is he?
27.
Where is he though?
Laps complete.
Wow, he's up to 20th. He was stuck behind for a
Larson
while.
and Alex
He's
Bowman
moved up
Chevrolets,
a good amount.
Joey Logano's and Eric Almirola's Fords.
Johnson's up to 25th now.
This small thing.
Ty Dillon's 2
is the
laps
next
down.
big thing.
So he's in last place. Let me see if I can diagnose a problem.
The all-new Dexcom G7 for all types of diabetes. It shows your glucose, predicts where it's headed, and tracks your success, just like that. Not magic, just feels that way. Dexcom, powerful, simple diabetes management.
All right, let me see. Ty Dillon to the garage. Mechanical failure. Sounds like he's blowing up. A plug wire came off. That sucks. Well, Ty Dillon will finish last in the 500. He's out.
NASCAR Race Up, weeknights on FS1.
Saturday, January 28th, the Hartford Wolfpack take on the Syracuse Crunch at 7 p.m. It's New York Rangers night. See your future blue play in Hartford today before they make it to the Big Apple. There will be a special appearance by a New York Rangers alumni. Bring your skates and skate with your favorite future Rangers after the game. For tickets, go to hartfordwolfpack.com or scan the QR code now.
Saturday, the biggest night of college basketball is Fox Primetime Hoops. One of the most intense and bitter collegiate rivalries takes the spotlight. Player of the Year candidates Zach Edey and third-ranked Purdue are out for payback. Wow! As they look to avenge their early season loss against Trace Jackson Davis and the Hoosiers. Indiana, Purdue, Saturday at 7:30 Eastern.
The biggest games are on Fox Primetime Hoops.
Ty Dillon's out. It looks like Connor Daly has lost the draft on lap 30. We're still caution free, it looks like, for now. Right. 30 laps for 15% of the way through.
Harvick's getting a run off turn 4. It's going to be a drag race all the way back to the start-finish line. No caution. They're side by side, right to the line. Big crash. Here they come. Checkered flag. Harvick. Kevin Harvick wins the Daytona 500.
He came from 7th to 1st on the final lap to win it. And to celebrate Harvick's final season, Busch Light's giving away $50,000 toward one lucky fan's retirement and more huge prizes. Follow at Busch Beer on Twitter and tweet hashtag Busch401K and hashtag sweepstakes during every lap that ends in a 4 for your chance to win. Harv riding 16th right now. Christopher Bell leading. Alex Bowman, Kyle Larson, Eric Almirola. They've been the front four most all day, along with Joey Logano. Last year's winner, Austin Cindric, and his teammate Ryan Blaney, trading 6th and 7th. Corey LaJoie up for 8th with Chase Elliott. Brad Keselowski in the top 10.
Good push from Elliott to Blaney. That looks like the lanes are starting to shift a bit.
In this first of 3 stages, this one lasts 65 laps. So, Larry Mack, when might we see them on pit road if we stay green?
Yeah, Mike, as I noted at the top of the show, the fuel window is about 42 to 46 laps. I tried to talk to 2 or 3 crew chiefs from each manufacturer between yesterday and this morning, and I think once we get to about lap 35, that's when we'll start to see manufacturers starting to peel off. But I think it's going to be a little bit of monkey see, monkey do. But one observation, a lot of those Fords are in that outside line right now. When you're side by side, 2 lanes like that, you got to be to the bottom before you can make that green flag stop.
Exactly, Larry. Usually when we see, them talking about pitting, 2 or 3 laps to go, they start formulating where they're at, try to find where their manufacturer teammates are so they can all pit together. They may not have this luxury. This is a new one. If they don't get established pretty quick, they're going to be pitting with a bunch of people, and it might be a lot of trouble here coming on to pit road.
34 green flag laps.
Ty Gibbs making moves. He just gave like 3 positions coming off of 4.
The race. And where is 2-time 500 winner Michael Waltrip?
Where is Michael, Chris? Those, excuse me, Mike. Those
and Johnson up to 19th. So he's in the top 20.
Well, they watch it on Fox. As we got this big
Almirola takes the lead.
Battle for the lead up front. They're watching on Fox, but they're also enjoying a hot dog and a cold beer, having a lot of fun in the fan zone. There's many different ways to take on the Great American Race, and this is a pretty good one right here, Mike.
And Cindric, last year's winner, has made his way up to 3rd.
Almirola and Austin Cindric already moved down from that outside line, trying to get established. You can't be pitting from that outside. Got to be on the bottom.
We're on lap 35.
Logano, Blaney behind him.
At the 50, you'll be leaving pit road down here.
Not pitting, just yet.
Connor Daly has already made a pit stop, a little early for a scheduled gas stop, as he comes off pit road without benefit of the draft. Ty Dillon in the garage. And Christopher Bell out front. Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell have quite a history. When Larson went NASCAR racing, Christopher Bell took over Larson's USAC ride. They have been rivals for quite a while, open wheel and stock cars.
And I remember being in the motorhome at Atlanta Motor Speedway with Kyle Larson, and we were watching
Corey LaJoie second on the inside line.
Goes,
wait, that's not right. That is right.
I said, is he good? He goes,
wow.
He's better than me.
Oh boy.
That's Kyle Larson's words.
Wow.
This happens when I look away because I'm trying to check messages from people.
Corey LaJoie has come to 2nd place.
Been running so well all weekend.
3rd generation star. His dad was a modified star in New England. His granddad, his dad Randy,
2-time Busch champion and won at Daytona 3 times, 97, 99, and 2001 in the Busch Series. Each with a different team, by the way. The 74 for Base Motorsports,
and now
the 1 for
he
Phoenix
is
Racing,
in the Cup Series,
and the 7 for Evans Motorsports.
Trying to win the Daytona 500.
I'm seeing these Fords are waving. Them hands are waving. The
all
Fords
right.
are coming, I'd say. Watch for all these Fords to try to find each other and peel off. What do the rest of them do?
Remember, execution and no mistakes.
Here they go.
The
Ford's peeling off
below the double yellow line.
Logano, huge. Look at that. Past his teammate, Austin Cindric.
Wow.
Regan.
It was all about positioning and getting himself where he needed to be to get onto the bottom for the pit stop. And Eric Almirola, that race car right now, just a little bit too tight and bottoming out. Josh?
Well, the 6th of Brad Keselowski is saying he's got good speed in that car, just a little bit tight off of 4.
Oh, Blaney changing tires.
In the 12th, first pit stops of the year. Right sides right now, just a little bit tight on exit for Blaney. Good stop.
11 Fords all stopped in one group at lap 38.
He's going to break off now.
Learning what we learned at
there
the
we go.
I'd say these other cars are going to be
Some
coming quick.
Chevrolets.
Here they are. Boy, that was close.
Regan?
Corey LaJoie in
The
the
Hendrick
7th
stable.
car.
I see the
So
Legacy
far.
Motor Club
he felt
cars.
like this was coming today out of this race car. A lot of
At
confidence
least one
in
of them.
it, and knew that his competitors would be willing to work with him. Josh?
Well, Kyle Busch has been working his way through the field after having to start in the back. He said it's just a 1 to 2 snug on that car, Jamie.
Alex Bowman in the 43 started on pole for this race for the third time in his career. Pretty good overall, just doesn't want the 7 of Corey LaJoie to push him. A little delayed there as they continue to fuel the 48.
Noah Gregson's car did not have the lights on the dash properly timed to pit road speed. He was noticeably slower down pit road than the rest of that group.
Well, I can tell you why, because he was noticeably faster coming on. Watch him over here. Here he comes. Makes a big move. Cuts a couple of them off. Going extremely
Oh, we have a spin. It's Riley Herbst.
Straight away heading for pit road. Around goes
come on.
Racing number 15.
No, don't back up.
Riley Herbst. Not a crash, just a spin.
Oh,
and
we stay green
because he gets safely to pit road.
Still green, very important.
Josh.
And the 20 of Christopher Bell has led a lot of laps. He's been really happy with his car so far.
You know, good. Kudos to NASCAR.
Everybody makes it onto and off pit road, and we stay green 39 laps into the Daytona 500.
I knew that was going to be an interesting one. With
There's
everybody being
Pastrana.
jumbled
He
up.
looks like he's on
And
his
here's
own.
your new leader. He started
Wait,
last. He's
why
running
did you
first.
not pit?
Travis Pastrana now comes to pit road.
Why didn't you pit with other people, you idiot? Now you have no draft partner.
Down to pit road speed.
I mean, yeah, he could say he led the 500,
As
but
the rest of the field forms up after
actually,
pit
he
stop.
led a lap,
The leader
but now
will
he
be
has no
Denny
draft
Hamlin
help.
from Christopher Bell and Tyler Reddick. So Toyota wins the first round of green flag pit stops.
Look at the run of the Fords, though. Here comes Eric Almirola and company, Cindric, Blaney, Logano right behind him. Jimmy pulled
And
up to
of
make
course,
a
the
block. and here they
Chevrolets
come.
fucked it up.
Commitment line violation for Riley Herbst when he spun at the entrance of pit road, so he'll have to do a pass-through penalty. 40 laps complete, 160 to go in the Daytona 500. Riley Herbst, that orange car on the left of your screen.
Oh,
walks
man,
up the
almost
rear
hit.
brake,
He hit Kyle
spins
Busch
around coming
as
to
he
pit
spun.
road, but
Not a big hit,
caution
though.
flag.
Mom, can we get a puppy, Mom? Please? Girls, pets are a big expense.
Maybe try. Okay, screw that. Screw the progressive commercials. Uh-oh. Fox went to commercial. I'm seeing. Uh-oh. We might have problems. Do we have a wreck or something? Oh, well, the Ford's ditched Jimmy Johnson apparently. Well, what do you expect? Manufacturer loyalty is supreme on super speedways. All right, beat that time again.
The Daytona 500 on Fox is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance.
Grab an ice-cold Coke
Well, that
Zero
took a
Sugar
while
and cheer
to
on
load.
Your favorite member of the Coca-Cola racing family. You're watching NASCAR on Fox.
Actually, I need to try Coke for the first time.
44 laps complete. That was Denny
now that
Hamlin,
Elliott's part of the family, Chase, I gotta drink it.
Coca-Cola Racing family. He is your leader. Newest family member Chase Elliott, 11th. Joey Logano, Daniel Suarez, Austin Dillon. Big shakeup on those pit stops, and the two big beneficiaries on pit stops were Chase Briscoe, that red Ford down to the inside, and the number 8 of Kyle Busch in a Chevrolet. They chose to pit with the Toyotas instead of the other cars of their own brand.
I think a lot of that was, like we talked about, you can't pit from the outside. So if you're already out there and there's no room to get down, you've just got to come in with the guys that are around you.
And you can be more efficient. With all of that chaos of so many cars trying to pit from wherever they were, you saw Noah Gragson come from the outside all over the place. Just coming in with a small collected group, your performance can be better. Shows with Kyle Busch.
Briscoe took 2 tires. That's how he vaulted from
They've changed the way that the number 11 is shown on the thing. It's a little weird that there's no slants, which is a little weird.
Briscoe, Tyler Reddick, Ty Gibbs, and Hamlin. This is our driver's eye camera. It is a tiny camera. You could stack, half a dozen of them on your little fingernail. And it is mounted in the foam to the side of the driver's face, between his temples and the outer shell of the helmet. Pretty revolutionary, brand new technology.
They still pixelating the dashboard, really?
I literally had one in my hand.
It's
the
like, what,
other
are they
day,
watching
and it is
porn
so
or
cool
something?
to see how good the technology is, but to have this kind of access and see it exactly from the driver's perspective, that's something we haven't had in the past.
Check out that camera, folks. This is something with this new car. We had it last year, but it's so cool to see how the old school drivers, maybe a guy like Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, that's coming back to the sport after being gone for a couple of years.
Johnson's back in the lead draft, by the way.
Rear view mirror, but a lot of these guys, new kids are going, are using that camera. I'll get it out, Tony.
We're starting to see that on passenger cars too, a camera instead of a rear view mirror. Hamlin, Briscoe.
Hamlin dropped. No, wait. Oh, it's Pastrana getting lapped.
Penalty for driving through too many pit boxes on exit.
Well,
after his
he'll
stop.
probably get the free
Just a
pass.
rookie
One
mistake.
caution. Assuming Zane Smith might get lapped actually
Laps
before
and
him.
one pit stop complete. Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe battle.
No. Or he might get lapped before Pastrana, before the stage ends.
75 years around this epic track.
I'll be right back.
But we've never stopped moving forward.
Trying to take the lead. And here's Janet Guthrie, the first woman to compete in the Daytona 500.
Wherever we go in the next 75, we're all better off with an ally.
We have created our own drink company. The fastest growing sports drink in history.
We want pride! We want pride! So ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have it. The monkey has pride! This season, we are hydrated. The official sports drink of the fight game. It's time!
Oh, that's good. To all the Chevy Silverado owners out there, the adventurers and the doers, to everyone who works hard and plays hard.
Whether it's your first Silverado or your 10th.
Briscoe currently leads.
Thank you for making Chevy Silverado the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup.
Introducing a technological achievement so advanced, it rivals the moon landing.
Wow. Okay. Rude. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
March 7th.
Here we go. Buckle up.
Baseball's biggest names play for national pride. The World Baseball Classic on Fox and FS1.
After the Events of Elimination Chamber, who remains on the road to WrestleMania? Plus, SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair goes face-to-face with her WrestleMania opponent Rhea Ripley. An all-new Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox. Charlotte Flair was an honorary race official here in Daytona today. So, one of our Super 6 questions, which of these drivers will have the best finish today? Here are the 6. Take your pick.
That's a tough pick, man. Daytona 500 winners. Brad Keselowski strong. Uh-oh, Bubba Wallace on pit road.
Drop to the back of the pack coming off turn number 4.
Some trouble for the 23. Wallace had moved to that top line to get from behind the 14, who he said was unsteady. Well, once he moved to the top line, he got hit into the fence and had to come pit, guys.
Right side damage to Bubba Wallace. They'll put 2 tires on it. Send him back out. He was running second.
He forced out, and that means he starts to fall back.
Need to make sure that didn't bend a toe link in the rear. Hit pretty hard.
And Martin Truex Jr.
There
was the bump.
Perennial.
Turned him right into the wall.
I'd like to
I'd
say
say
contender, but he's
be able to get
usually
that.
just
Man,
shit, but
that's
he's
a
had
shot.
some
That
shit
car's. I'd say if they can get it back to this into the stage, they're going to need to check the toe on that
Ty
thing
Gibbs
and
up
maybe even toe
to
link on the
7th
rear.
position.
So a little more. Here's Wallace back out trying to get up to speed. And of course, he has lost the draft.
Yeah.
The field will
closing
inhale
in on
here
him
in about a lap or 2. Chase Briscoe, first car on the inside in that Ford, went from 33rd to the lead on pit stops after changing 2 tires like most of the racers did. Larry told us in break the reason he changed left side tires. When you come in the pits, the left sides are closer to the crew. They don't have to come around the car. They can change lefts faster than they can change rights.
Sneaky good. Good move.
Jamie.
The 48 of Alex Bowman led 11 laps early, and because of that, he needed more fuel, so he had to stay on pit road 2 additional seconds in order to keep on strategy with the rest of the Chevrolet team. So now he's mired back mid-pack in 26th right now, saying his car's a little bit wiggly.
Never too early. I can't believe I'm saying this because I never had this mentality, Tony. But never too early to start counting points. I didn't ever want to say when I in my driving career. I don't
right now it's JGR 1, 2, 3, 4, and Tyler Reddick's right behind, and Bubba Wallace is part of that too. So Toyota dominating up front.
Talk about it. They're already thinking points.
Absolutely, the competition keeps getting tighter and tighter every year, and as that happens, you have to start thinking backwards. And you can't wait till 5 races from the cutoff in the regular season to sit there and get yourself in position. So every one of these points matters, especially the bonus points going into the playoffs.
Stage end at lap 65 and at lap 130. Last year, Martin Truex won both stages of the Daytona 500 and picked up those championship points. 55.
Looks like we're single file. Complete. No, we're not. Never mind. There's a bottom. There's a bottom line with Chase Briscoe.
You've read the books. You've loved the movies. Now, put yourself in the center of the magic. Relive the magic and fantasy of the world created in the Harry Potter books as you explore his world, but in a brand new story. The magical event of a generation is...
We don't. It's like Reddick passed Gibbs. Either that or I had them mixed up. Which now actually Gibbs must have moved. I think Gibbs must have moved down to head the outside line. See, Bell has, or no? Okay, Gibbs is still on the inside, on the outside. Yeah, the Bell and Reddick moved down. Jimmy Johnson up to 13th. Bubba Wallace currently the first car a lap down, but Zane Smith and BJ McLeod they're gonna be lapped if they haven't been already, based on the scoring. It's a lap behind right now. You can see the cars up ahead that are almost about to get lapped.
9 laps complete, working lap 60 in the longest green flag run to start the Daytona 500 in 15 years.
Wow.
Toyota's out front.
All right, Zane Smith and BJ McLeod get lapped. That puts McLeod in free pass position. Next car that might come up behind is AJ Allmendinger, who is listed as 38 seconds behind.
Which encompasses 7 Toyotas, 15 Ford Mustangs, and 18.
Since the outside lane is the second lane fell behind, so Reddick and Bell have slipped, leaving Truex, Hamlin, and Gibbs up front. I hate Ford, but I would rather any Ford, even fucking Joey Logano, even though I'd take Austin Trigor, anyone but Ty Gibbs.
Truex was fast,
man.
Obviously, in his qualifying race. Denny Hamlin, you just get him anywhere near the front, he's going to figure it out. Ty Gibbs is getting a great education right now following Denny. That's probably the best position he could be in right now, is just to follow Denny and learn from him.
Martin Truex, 3 top 10s in 18 Daytona 500s. In 2016, the driver filling up his rearview mirror, Denny Hamlin, won the race by 1/100th of a second, with Truex second.
Right in the top 25 closest finishes.
Keep you up late at night.
I think. No, it's just outside the top 25.
These Fords, you see them lined up. The 10, the 6, the 17, 41 behind.
The Dinger, I think, just got lapped.
That's where the move's going to first come from, but Logano's already.
That's the 50. Again.
Somebody I'm concerned about right now is
it's a 50.
Bell in the 20 car. He was up front in that mix. He has fallen.
Damn, yeah, Bell is back to 25th. Right, I don't know what happened to him. Johnson in 8th position. I didn't even notice that he snuck up there.
Coming with these lappers. They're going to be pulling up on 2-lap cars. When they start fanning out, boom, there's your chance. Cindric just moved Reddick out of the way. A lot of Fords lined up behind these 3 Toyotas. How do they capitalize on that?
3 laps to go to the end of the stage. They'll wave a green and white checkered flag.
Harvick's not waiting.
Slow, and there's pit stop.
Here we go.
They're going to move up in front.
Harvick's in 8. Well, he wasn't 8th. He was in 9th, I think.
Ryan Preece just ahead on the inside.
And you'd mentioned that, Clint, earlier. These guys are already thinking about those stage points and already trying to put themselves in position to
someone's
maximize
leading,
whatever they can get.
Trying to make the moves. It looks like Keselowski could be in a position. Everyone behind the top 5 are single file. There's Gregson and Burt. Wait, no, that's Dinger and somebody else. 3 to go. Here's Keselowski making the moves, and Ty Gibbs slides out. So Denny Hamlin and Truex follow suit.
And there is the 2 lap cars I told you. That was going to be the opportunity that would separate those.
So
leads,
that's
make them make
Dinger and Herbst.
Herbst
will go a second lap down.
Wow. First air just screwed.
Oh, Almirola going split in 3 wide. Dinger going to be flung down the middle.
Don't understand what AJ Allmendinger's doing.
Herbst, get down. Herbst, get down. What are you doing, you idiot? Oh, my God.
Lucky dog. The 23, Bubba Wallace had to pit. That's a battle for the lucky dog. That was a smart move.
What are you doing? Oh, Lord. And Gibbs gets shuffled out.
Smith trying to be the first car 1 lap down.
Yeah. Herbst almost LePage the field.
On the caution. Truex by inches over Keselowski. 1 more lap to the end.
Last lap of the stage.
I like that.
Keselowski takes the lead.
Timed those lappers perfect.
And yep, the inside line coming through. Oh, and Ty Gibbs managed to sneak back in.
When you get stacked up like
there,
that, everybody, is forced to hit the brakes, and it just accordions. And look at the damage done.
Coming to the caution flag, Brad Keselowski, part owner now of.
Where did he come from? Right, we got 5 Fords leading the charge, and then fucking baby Jesus behind him, and Jimmy Johnson behind them. But here they come to the line. It's Brad Keselowski to win the stage. Preece second, Buescher third, Harvick fourth, McDowell fifth, Ty Gibbs sixth, Jimmy Johnson in seventh, Almirola eighth, Truex ninth, and Todd Gilliland in 10th.
That was a slick move. That was really cool. Brad Keselowski knew the timing was right. Eric Almirola did too. He's just a little bit too late. Brad pounced on it, got the win.
Caution flag waves for the first time in Daytona.
Dinger gets the free pass.
I need to try it first.
Okay, cut it.
Ray Magliozzi here. eBay Motors has the right parts at the right prices. Let's see, you'll need headlights and a bumper. At least you can skip the car wash. For parts that fit your vehicle, look for the green check. Let's ride.
Zach Edey leads third-ranked Purdue against Trace Jackson Davis in Indiana. Fox Primetime Hoops, Saturday at 7:30 Eastern.
When our daughter and her kids moved in with us,
Kids, bedtime.
she was worried we wouldn't be able to keep up.
Of course we can.
What couldn't keep up was our bargain detergent.
Turns out it's mostly water, and that doesn't work as well on stains.
So we switched back to Tide.
The best drivers on the planet take on the controlled chaos of Fontana. Coverage begins next Sunday at 2:30 Eastern on Fox.
Get up and gradually reduce grays the easiest way. Step into the shower with Just For Men Control GX shampoo. Blends away a little gray every time you wash for subtle, natural results. Textured hair? Try new Control GX for textured hair.
Introducing a technological achievement so advanced, it rivals the moon landing.
Wow. Okay. Rude. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
sold-out grandstand and infield here at Daytona. Here's today's big move, sponsored by Pods.
Yeah, he had made it right there, Keselowski. He was following the 10. Almirola got there, got in position before as they caught those two lappers, Allmendinger and the 15 car. Watch this. Here comes the energy behind them. Priest, a big shot. Keselowski's going to wait just a little bit more energy. He's going to make a move and beat those guys. Just beat them just a little bit to that punch, that 10 car, and that's all it took. Look at the help behind him. Forge in your rearview mirror, that's exactly what it takes.
And they finish the stage 1, 2, 3. Keselowski, Priest, and Chris Buescher for that blue number 17. Then Harvick, Michael McDowell. It's a top 5 sweep for Ford at stage 1. That's your Pods big move. Highest Toyota, Ty Gibbs in 7th. Highest Chevrolet, Jimmy Johnson from the back of the field to 8th.
I don't think he's forgot how to do this.
Oh, man.
All right, we listened in on Martin Truex, who fell back into the pack during that exchange.
Kind of like when you said the 6 was coming, I thought that 11 was going to move and we were going to go together. I guess they came too fast.
We want to work together when we can, but I can promise you, if the roles were reversed right here, 11 would have left here. So if I see it coming, I tell you, man, we got to go because they had the numbers.
Truex ends up 9th in the stage. Drew Herring, his spotter. And pit road will be open this time. Brad Keselowski to lead them down. Now under green, 3 cars took fuel only. And we'll see how things change.
Here we go.
Regan.
Kevin Harvick in his final Daytona 500 has been silent on the radio till the caution just came out for the stage end. He told the team the car is just fine. Josh?
Stage 1 winner Brad Keselowski happy with his car. He's getting 4 tires and fuel. Jamie?
Ryan Priest, the newest driver for Stewart Haas Racing in the 41. A little tight to start, a little loose at the end of the run.
Who's going to win the race off pit road?
Tires. Chris Buescher, brand new dad in the 17. A little loose. Overall, very good car.
Slipped to the front of his box, had to back up. Going to be a long stop in the 17.
Winner off pit road is Inspirational Priest.
Priest leads the field off pit.
Holy crap, 4 wide.
Pit road sponsored by Ram.
Priest, Keselowski, Harvick, Almirola, McDowell, Cindric, Truex, Byron, Buescher. Busch up 6 spots. Buescher lost 7. Cindric gained 7 spots as well.
Style up old Noah Gragson, holding a pretty wheel out there. Like this kid. Think he's going to do big things. Hey, Noah Gragson, it's Boyer up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, 10-4.
Man, you guys have had a big week down here. Wendy's has been all over the place. My man up here, Tony's been over there, well, about 3 times a day. Tell me about your car. Tell me about your week.
Yeah, it's been a great week down here at Daytona. I think we got a great Wendy's, 42. Chevy, it's been a lot of fun with this Legacy Motor Club team. And this week I've been scanning that Wendy's square, getting some cool prizes. And make sure all your fans do that too. Scan it, get some good prizes out there.
Absolutely, buddy. Good luck out there.
Thanks.
Well, Wendy's has been cutting no corners. In fact, they've been throwing shade at the burger competition on social media this week.
Like, so the guy, once someone got in the grass, look at that. Logano, Hamlin, Jones, and Gilliland were all next to each other.
Great seats, am I right? You got this, Carlos!
Thanks, Advance.
Like Advance.
I'm the #1 fan of Advance Auto Parts, and I am here for the free battery test. Yes! 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 And free die-hard battery installations. Let's go! Or when they put on new wiper blades in the rain!
I see we have a new fan.
Yeah, but I'm still #1 though, right? No, seriously, I'm still #1?
Still #1.
Think it'll ever stop raining?
This is how we advance.
Right.
The Busch Guide, cold and smooth survival.
Head for the mountains of Busch.
Great outdoors. Food, drink, and shelter.
Hello, I'm Sarah McLaughlin. For just dollars a day, you can help helpless animals find shelter.
Busch. Wrong shelter, Sarah. Also, that's a wolf. Head for the mountains.
Screw that. Bring back the song. Hold on a minute. Let me get. Screw it. I'm gonna find the Bush music. Bush and Headford. Because I will sing. I will sing that. I will belch. I don't know. Not belch. I will just scream that one out. One head for. Screw it. Let me start over. Come on along. Head for the mountains of Bush beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth, and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush Light beer. I like that commercial so much. Alrighty, alrighty.
Things you want.
Already got some gestures out here, Tony. What do you think they are? That one looks aggressive. That one looks like it has all the fingers. I'm telling you, the 11 balls, I don't think...
I mean, 22 making enemies.
Well, we were watching on pit exit after the pit stops there. It's a little congested right there, as you can see, and Denny unfortunately had to run Joey out a little bit. I don't know that Joey fully understood at the time how many cars were inside of Denny there that pushed him out.
You didn't answer me. How many fingers?
Josh?
Well, just an update on the 23 of Bubba Wallace. We saw that damage when he hit the wall earlier. Well, they were telling him that the toe link is bent. They're going to ride with it for now, but at some point they're probably going to need to change that, guys.
I figure that's that rear toe link. They'll scrub that tire really hard. Tire wear will be key to making it to the end of this stage. Have to be very careful with that. Hoping for a caution where they can get that changed.
Now we questioned AJ Allmendinger.
Where's Gibbs at? 29th? How bad of a pit stop do you have to go from 7th to 29th? But I digress. Stay back. Fuck off.
After pit stop. Coming out of turn number 4, there's the Geico restart zone. When the race leader, the control car, which right now is the 41 of Ryan Preece, enters that zone, and it's marked by lines on the wall and the track and a cone in the fence. Anytime in that green zone, he can hit the gas and accelerate, and the starter will wave the green flag.
Here we go.
The rest of the field
Starting stage 2.
Important to note, it's longer this year. They've added about 50% of that restart zone. I think you're going to see some more craftsmanship, some gamesmanship, if you will, with these guys. I like that move.
Preece on the inside, Keselowski on the outside.
You would get in there, and when you took off,
oh man, almost like Preece was towing that double yellow line.
So that craftsmanship there, I like that gamesmanship. You got to be able to jump that guy. That needs to be the leader's advantage.
It was added 25% on the front and added 25% on the back. So it does, and that's exactly what was happening, Clint. The guy that was the control car was holding a steady pace. The guys on the outside were rolling it because the zone was so short that they got really good at timing it. With a longer restart zone, makes it much more difficult for that outside car to time the restart.
Absolutely. Like that the rule change.
So we're green in stage 2. Because of stage racing, Buddy Baker's overall average speed mark for the Daytona 500 is in no jeopardy, because we will stop at least twice for caution flags at the end of the first 2 stages. Brad Keselowski was out front when the first one ended. Now he battles Eric Almirola. Ford's the top 5.
All these manufacturers are taking turns now. They've all had their moment.
Keselowski,
They've had groups of
Preece,
cars leading this race.
Almirola, and Cindric up front. And here comes Happy Harvick.
William Byron, the first Toyota, the 19 of Martin Truex.
Well, I think you don't have to look any further. Whoa, that was close. Yeah. Preece was pushing hard. Got him bottled up on the bottom, but you don't have to look any further than that first stage and what happened. Strength in numbers, we've been talking about that, right? Those 3 Toyotas were out front, and then Ford's pounced on them. Attrition's still going to play a part in this. You hear Denny Hamlin talk about luck being a part of it. You're going to have a big one. How do those 3 cars out?
We might not.
Well, you just wait and see. Get to the end of this thing. Put them Fords in a position where they come off of turn 4 and don't have a choice but to push you. There's too many on the outside. You're right on the yellow line. They're going to push you to the win. That's how you do it.
Look at Preece in the 41.
Inspirational.
And put him out in front of that pack. Now Almirola with the bubble behind him, between him and the two of Austin Cindric. And they are gaining energy. Tell me about that bubble.
It's kind of like a spring. The closer those cars get together, the more it compresses the air. And what that air will do is it will compress like a spring. At some point, that spring's going to push you forward. It pushes that lead car forward. It pushes the second car backwards a little bit. But that is that energy that we've talked about, and that's why you see when you get a second car behind and all of a sudden that first car gets a shot, it doesn't have to have physical contact to push that car forward.
The other side of the energy equation is who's behind you. You heard me talk about it earlier with the rear view mirror, everything out of the back glass. You have to have a dancing partner. That means you have to have people behind you that when you make that move, you don't break. As soon as you break that channel of the car in front of you, it's like pulling a parachute. You have to have people to push you through and continue on with that energy that we talk about.
And the key word in that statement, Clint, was partner. It has to take two people to do it together, and it's not always the first guy just holding it wide open, because you don't want to spring too far ahead of the guy in front of you. So when you get that push and you notice that it's going forward, sometimes they'll drag the brake a little bit or just roll out of the throttle a little bit just to maintain that, to help that second car get caught back up.
33 cars on the lead lap.
Back to Noah Gragson.
First car, one lap down. Two by two, 17 rows deep, with Brad Keselowski and Ryan Preece leading the Daytona 500 on Fox.
We've come a long way in 125 years.
This is Bill Elliott talking.
From dirt tracks to super speedways and every track in between. Never backing down, pushing boundaries and giving it everything we've got. Yeah, we've come a long way, but there's still a lot more road to run. Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR.
All right, everybody, it's two of any of these for just $6.
No, I don't need that, man. Oh man, it's like, oh, the stress, oh god, the stress, oh god, the stress. Now I'm singing like Super Mario RPG. Oh god, it's like, oh, the nerves. It's all just catching up. It's like fire, electricity. Ugh. Only 8 Fords in the top 10. The only non-Fords are Martin Truex in 10th and William Byron in 5th.
The first stage went caution-free despite this spin by Riley Herbst. We stayed green. He got a penalty for missing the commitment cone. Bubba Wallace Gets a bump on the back straightaway from Martin Truex and gets up and into the wall. Brad Keselowski in the 6 leads Ryan Preece's 41 to win stage 1.
When you got an itch, you got to scratch it. You can't stop.
The quick scratch.
Put the visor up, scratch your nose, put your visor back down.
And it's exactly what you said. I don't know why it is or even how to
a car
explain
slipped
it,
out.
but your nose,
Or maybe
from
it's
the
the lap car?
vibrations, whatever that sequence is, it's always your nose that itches.
That's the
Jones.
Melon Man. Ross
No,
Chastain
Johnson.
in the
Johnson
Advent
fell
Health
out.
Game in his number 1.
Never mind, it's not
Chase
Johnson.
Briscoe,
It's
another
Jones.
one of our
It is Jones.
Fox driver's eye cams in his Mahindra Tractor Sport. Almirola leading. Keselowski. Cindric on the outside with Almirola. Preece inside with Keselowski, and Kevin Harvick right in the mix, 3rd car on the inside in honor of Harv's final season. Busch Light's giving away $50,000 toward one lucky fan's retirement, along with other big prizes. Follow @Busch Beer on Twitter and tweet #Busch401k and #sweepstakes during every lap that ends in a 4, like 2 laps from now, for your chance to win.
Okay, still pushed down at the bottom, still nothing ahead. Still nothing.
Been watching the hood on Austin Cindric. This thing just keeps getting looser and looser. If that thing gets to vibrating too much, you could break a hood hinge. Look how bad that thing's bouncing around. You break a hood pin. I think the hood pin's broken.
I think it is.
Yep. I thought that thing was bouncing around. Gonna need to get it to the into the stage here. Get it taped down.
If that thing comes flying up,
Brad
that's
Keselowski
no
from
bueno.
Rochester, Michigan. Out in front, he led the most laps in last year's Daytona 500.
Maybe Jones might not. Maybe it wasn't the driver that fell out. But maybe it was Daly's lap car.
Here he comes.
He's 3 down right now. So
that's Brad Spotter, TJ Majors.
A lot of pushing on the back of that 10.
A few feet off of him, face back, he's on you, let you go now, half, three-quarter,
Stuart Haas doing pretty well for themselves right now.
Sounds like an auctioneer, but that's
only one
that
that's not there.
information
The top
and
5
having it repetitive like that is
Chase
more
Briscoe.
valuable than
He
what
is
you
currently
think.
running
Everything,
in.
every second, things are changing. So hearing that
26.
information, even if it's the same thing, just reiterates to that driver what's going on.
Well, the other side of that is you don't want to get out too far. You heard him half, three-quarter. You don't want to get about a car length and a half. Somebody could come in and fill that void. The other, and if you get out too far, by the time he catches you, he's got to hit the brakes. Well, guess what? That stacks up the whole line.
Going with you, man. With you. You're clear.
Both drivers leading these 2 lanes, Keselowski on the inside and the 10, Eric Almirola on the outside, have each come within 1 mile of winning the Daytona 500.
Unfortunately, I hate hearing that stat because
you're part of it.
Yeah, hurt my pocketbook.
Yep. Somebody else's bumper wanted a part of it. 85 laps complete. Michigan's Brad Keselowski out in front.
Eagle has.
Oh, we are. Oh, man. 86 laps complete. Briscoe, and it's now 29th. Looks of it. Oh yeah, that was a crack. Oh man, yeah, that one deep. Woo. But right now, only one car is out of the race. It's Ty Dillon.
Here in Daytona, a lot of NFL stars on hand. There's your honorary starter.
Loving it.
Receiver Brandon Marshall. Funny man Pete Davidson.
Truex fan.
Taking it all in during Daytona pre-race. And Michael Jordan came out and talked to his team before the 500. Celebrating a birthday this weekend.
One cool cat. So neat that he's a part of this sport.
90 laps to go, 10 laps to halfway. Now, Christopher Bell led 20 laps in his Toyota. Martin Truex 13 in his. Alex Bowman 11 in his Chevrolet. Kyle Larson 6 in his Chevy, and Ford has led the rest. Not the most laps, but they were in front at the end of stage 1, where Kyle Busch has inserted himself up into the top 10 after starting out back in a backup car, Josh.
Yeah, Kyle Busch, the biggest mover on the day before that last stop. He was saying he was too tight. They made an adjustment to help him out. He said the balance is much better, but he needs just a little bit more on that last adjustment to get it where he wants, Jamie.
And Josh, how about the man in second right now, Ryan Preece in the 41. He was in the Cup Series for 3 years, stepped aside for a couple of years, ran in some truck races, and waited it out. He wanted to make his way back to the Cup Series in a competitive ride. Now here he is, the Connecticut driver, has come back to the Cup Series thanks to our own Tony Stewart calling him up to drive for SHR. And you see that man on the right, Chad Johnston. He even brought him back to the Cup Series. You may know Chad from working with Martin Truex Jr., Tony Stewart, and Kyle Larson. Pretty cool, huh, Smoke, to see him running up front.
Yes, it is. I'm excited about Ryan. His record speaks for itself. Up in the Northeast, he is awesome in modifieds, and excited to have him. Excited to have Chad Johnston back with us. Probably one of the most fun crew chiefs I've ever worked with was Chad. So I think this is going to be a really
oh
good
my Lord, he's doing it.
Jimmy Johnson is also in the
top 10
after getting into the Daytona 500 on speed and starting in the last row. He's in 10th place. Now, he's going to run about 5 races this year for a team in which he is now an equity partner.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I can't believe he's in the top 10. Such a phenomenal job by Jimmy to step in this thing. No practice.
Johnson's won this race twice.
And to be running inside
he was my pick to win.
2 years being removed from this sport. You can't count him out.
Do we have to remind you he won 7 championships?
I know.
I am fairly certain he could go across the Lake Lloyd and walk across it. Not swim across it, walk across it.
He's not Jesus.
Johnson may be the oldest driver in the field, but his part-time Cup career started late in 2001. 2002 was his rookie year. This is the first Daytona 500 in which no driver competed against Dale Earnhardt.
Oh. And yesterday's
There's Jimmy's record so far. He's now part of Legacy Motor Club. And just to clear up a little bit of the chatter on social media, Richard Petty was a partner in this team. It was Petty GMS Racing with Maury Gallagher, and it was reported this morning Richard sold his interest in the team back to Maury Gallagher. That happened before Jimmy Johnson came on as an equity partner. So Richard out, Jimmy in. Those two were not related. Larry.
Yeah, Mike, 75th anniversary of NASCAR. Here's a Larry McNugget for you at lap 94. The 84 number has never won a Cup race in the history of NASCAR.
Really? So maybe we can
Finished second, but never won.
Did you tell Jimmy that before he selected it?
I did not.
Darn.
Well, if I were you, I wouldn't either.
No. Jimmy said he chose 84, not just because it's the reverse of the 48 with which he won 7 championships, but all through his career. From motocross bikes on up, the digits 8 and 4 had always held special meaning for him. So he is number 84, and he may change that statistic. 5 laps from halfway in the 65th.
Man, this race is chugging along. Oh, I can't believe we've had no caution for incident.
She found it. The feeling of finding the psoriasis treatment she's been looking for. Sotyktu is the first of its kind once-daily pill for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for the chance at clear or almost clear skin. It's like the feeling of finding that outfit psoriasis tried to hide from you, or finding your swimsuit is ready for prime time. Dad, once daily Sotyktu is proven to get more people clearer skin than the leading pill. Don't take if you're allergic to Sotyktu. Serious reactions can occur. Sotyktu can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections, cancers including lymphoma, muscle problems, and changes in certain labs have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, liver or kidney problems, high triglycerides, or had a vaccine or plan to. Sotyktu is a TYK2 inhibitor. TYK2 is part of the JAK family. It's not known if Sotyktu has the same risks as JAK inhibitors. Find what plaque psoriasis has been hiding. Ask your dermatologist about Sotyktu for clearer skin. So clearly you. Sotyktu.
I need to try it first.
What's he doing?
He's cleaning the trash cans.
Oh boy. Meeting a new young homeowner for the first time is a unique challenge.
So you think you can help?
I can try. Hey, what you doing?
Just cleaning my trash cans.
Wow. It's important to build trust. See, you put your address and phone number on here.
Well, you can never be too safe.
With trash?
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto when you bundle with us.
Don't look at the hedges, they're a mess.
No one's looking at the hedges.
Who said football season's over? This April, real football is back with the USFL. Reborn from the OGs. The hits, the picks, the dimes, drive so long you have to stop for gas. This isn't some Hollywood knockoff. This is Dryads USDA prime time football. Just ask these guys.
You better recognize the real.
Except no substitutes. Pro football returns this April with the USFL on Fox and NBC.
I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle to free. Fly through the revolution.
99 laps complete this time by Brad Keselowski, Ryan Preece locked together, leading Kevin Harvick, Michael McDowell, and Eric Jones, the first Chevrolet behind 4 Fords. Now the outside lane has changed. Eric Almirola was leading it. Martin Truex has gone to the front of the outside lane. Kyle Busch behind him, but that Toyota Chevy combination has fallen back in the field. compared to the inside.
Getting close again towards the end of stage 2 here. I'm going to tell you probably still 6-7 laps. But I want to go back to that, what we came back from commercial break. Them Thunderbirds, I'm telling you, showed up to put on a show. Unbelievable job by the Thunderbirds. The ultimate flex of our
single
country.
file.
Keselowski. It was awesome to see.
There he goes, another lap down, Connor Daly.
I thought they were coming in the motorhome yesterday morning when they were doing their practice flight. It was amazing to hear those guys and to see the show today. They definitely show why we're the best nation in the world right now.
Connor Daly stays up high so that outside lane can move past without incident. But they are not gaining on the inside lane. Now, this is just the opposite of what we saw midway in last year's race when the outside lane seemed to have control.
Spot on, but let's go back to the stage before, the first stage. They started formulating that outside line, and as they do, if he starts marching forward, you're going to see some of these boys starting to pull up, using that block, and beating into that advantage. That outside line is going to get bigger as we get to the closing laps of this stage. Why do they push so hard for these stages? We all know that the big one's going to be a part of this. If you can get you, 7, 8, 9, 12, 15 stage points, and you get wrecked out, it doesn't hurt as bad. If you don't get any stage points because you was riding around the Daytona 500, be there at the end, and then something happens and you don't get that either, you got yourself a big hole to dig out of. It takes months to do.
I've argued with our guys numerous times of you want to sit there a lot of times and go for the end and get those points at the end, but it's never a guarantee. So if you can get those points in each stage, take them. You don't know what's going to happen the rest of the race, especially here at Daytona.
Now, Martin Truex has been dropped to the bottom, leaving Kyle Busch to lead the outside lane. There is a graph of his days so far.
You see Tyler Reddick in the monster car, he pulled up. And he didn't pull up. That's that tied off of 4 that I'm talking about. In the wake of these cars, you'll get tied off of 4. A lot of them complained about that after the duels.
Your help is now clear from the top.
Hear him lift.
I can't believe we're halfway through the race.
And when he did, you saw the nose of Ricky Stenhouse close quickly.
Reddick last year drove a Chevrolet for Richard Childress after winning the Xfinity Series championship. Moved up to Cup, had a great season, but Toyota came calling, 2311 Racing, signed him once Kurt Busch was no longer cleared to compete full-time. And so Reddick and Kyle Busch have essentially swapped rides for 2023.
Well, I've been doing this long, Mike, but I've been doing it long enough that I think I can get close, and I'm a quick learner. They split that last stage in half, and I think they're going to do the same thing. That tells me it's going to be somewhere around 106. Still got a couple laps, but it's going to be soon.
Then while we wait for them to make pit stops, how about a NASCAR Daytona 500?
Yeah, crank
them up.
Let's do it.
On you. Back to the 4, on you. I'm outside, I got a slow car up top, about 10 rows up. You'll be bottom of 3 for 1 row. Three wide bottom briefly. 2.5 in front, just 2 wide now. 2 in front. Clear up, still inside. When we do pit, we're going on the jack. Plenty good on fuel. Get down, you're clear.
Stationary shots, please. Let's actually hear the cars run by.
Quarter front, and your help's 42-4. Maintaining half.
There we go.
Slower that lap without him shoving you. 2/10 slower. Half back, he's clear by half. About the back. All tight there. Half back 34. Push in front now. We're going to be the second group. Copy.
Did Connor Daly get lapped again? Wait, that's a different car.
You heard at the tail end of that. We're going to be the second group. They're talking about it. I don't think we'll be long.
Brad Keselowski.
Clint, the Fords hit the pit road the first time, and then it was the Chevys, and it was the Toyotas.
Keselowski, Xfinity champ in 2010, Cup champion in 2012, acquired an equity stake from Jack Roush and Fenway Sports Group in this team last year, started a rebuild. He continues.
Here they go.
Big crowd of cars coming to pit road this time, almost half the field.
This time it's the other ones. It's the Chevy boys.
18 cars come to pit road. Josh.
At the 5 of Kyle Larson is saying his car a little tight, but not too bad.
Fuel only for most of these teams. Jamie?
And Todd Gordon with a call for Jimmy Johnson in the 84. He's been pretty happy with the car. Just a little free early on, but a good stop for all 7 time.
So, second round of green flag pit stops. 18 cars, most of them Chevys, in that time, and they get away before the leaders can get close enough to sniff a draft off those cars. And Kyle Busch is too fast exiting his pit.
Penalty for Kyle Busch.
Penalty under green.
Damn.
The only saving grace to that is the fact that you got 22 laps to the end of the stage, and hopefully he can hang on if he can get out and get tucked back in the screw and try to get the lucky dog.
Saw a hand out the window.
I haven't been checking chat. I've been looking at other stuff.
Costly penalty for Kyle Busch. Maybe we'll see somebody have trouble. Might get a caution. You heard Denny Hamlin talk about luck. Here come the Fords.
Some of the Fords, not all of them.
Smaller group though. Only 6 cars.
Briscoe, Priest, Keselowski, McDowell, Almirola, Briscoe, and a green car.
Eric Almirola been very fast all day long. That race car just a little bit too tight off of turn 4 for him right now. Josh.
Brad Keselowski has led the most laps with 35 on the day. Said he's happy with his car. Got fuel and tires, Jamie.
And Ryan Preece in the 41, fuel only, tight bond with that pit crew already, works out with them all the time, and they are nailing it so far, as you see Michael McDowell in for his stop as well.
Preece gets out first because he took fuel and Keselowski chose to take 2 tires.
90, 20, well, we're at lap 110, it'll be 90 to go after they pit.
Kyle Busch
next to the pit stops, the Penske cars are all together. They're not pitting yet.
Kevin Harvick said this may be the best, Rodney Childers said this may be the best car him and Kevin Harvick have had here in Daytona. Kevin, I think, agrees right now. He is still silent on the radio, gas only. Jamie.
A lot of quiet drivers on the radio. Martin Truex Jr., one of those, led 13 laps earlier. Really happy with his car this week, but they thought it would take a hit when it came to racing here this year with the change to the nose, but they've been running really well with the 19. Truex happy with it.
So that was all the Toyotas plus Kevin Harvick pitting that time.
Turn 4. Brakes and paint are set. Here we come. Fuel only. Don't slide your tires. Ready.
Here come the Penske cars, as well as it looks like Buescher,
Mike Joey Logano with the 22 car. Really been struggling to handle and just a little bit on that race car and can't get to the car's bumpers in front of him like he would like. So some adjustments there, fuel only for him. Jamie.
And his teammate Ryan Blaney right there in the 12, a 2-time runner-up in the Daytona 500. Pretty happy with the car. It was a little tight early on, and they fixed that with an air pressure adjustment. No tires. You see the tear off on the windshield for clear vision. Enough fuel to make it to the end of the stage.
Now this entire group, fuel only.
See the 4 car there? I like that move by Rodney Childers. He pitted Kevin Harvick with them Toyotas, and I think because he saw the efficiency of that smaller group pitting in that first stage, they outperformed those guys. I think Rodney Childers saw
Toyotas and the Chevys are all joined up.
So Joey Logano will hang on to the lead from Chris Buescher, Ryan Blaney, and Austin Cindric with 111 laps complete.
The
Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. If you encounter a black bear, do not run. It may stimulate the instinct to chase. Instead, make yourself appear bigger. Bigger. And speak firmly in a loud voice. Bush. Good boy. Head for the mountains.
Go back to the whatever. Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains. It's cold and it's smooth. It's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. And for the mountains of Bush Light Bear. Wait a minute. Wow. Fox must have fucked up a graphic because it says that one of them was on gear 6. There's no 6th gear on these things. It's up to 5th. Oh. Talking about discount tire.
Discount tire takes the checkered flag again.
The Daytona 500 on Fox is sponsored by the Credit One Bank NASCAR American Express card and by Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
15 to go on the stage.
Leading Ryan Blaney and Martin.
Man, we're already too wide again. Nice. Oh, geez, Tiger is in 5th. Go fuck yourself.
Everybody got in line. Things got a little dicey right here.
Oh, Tyler Reddick.
And the guys that have already come off of pit road and haven't got up to speed yet, and all those cars from behind, big toe, Chris Buescher just trying to not get run over in that scenario.
How about Blaney? You know that spotter. He had an earful of his spotter telling him, block that 45, Reddick, he's coming, and then all of a sudden he shoots down. All right, Truex, block, down, down, down. Big block on Truex. Truex didn't like it. Gave him a shot in the bumper.
Chris Buescher, the Texan, back to the front. Best finish in the 500, third. He was the Xfinity champ in 2015. And we've already had more lead changes today than in all of 4 of the last 500s.
Damn.
Brad Keselowski was the leader at the end of stage 1. Now he's still in the mix, but he's back to 22nd.
Chris Buescher in that 17 car. Denny Hamlin told Tony and I in the pre-race, keep an eye out.
Kyle Busch a lap down.
RFK has a fast car. It's literally like deja vu. We left the Clash, they struggled. Come here to Daytona, and they were bad fast, exactly like they were a year ago.
Kyle Busch on the bottom, 13 miles an hour slower than the cars in the draft. He's going to try to find a way to get in. After
damn! Almost wrecked the 2.
Your help.
83 laps to go in the Daytona 500.
Jeez. Oh, jeez. I can't. The camera is rotating, so it. Wait, we're going back to commercial again? Really? We just went to. Oh, and it crashed.
And Doug.
And there goes Blaney too.
Hey man,
Nice pace.
Great timing, Fox. There, great fucking timing. The big one has happened, and I think both monster cars have damage. Eric Jones, Chase Elliott. Daniel Suarez slow. Tyler run it.
We gotta go again.
Great fucking timing, Fox.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Back to. Oh my god.
Skills. Should you become stranded, be ready to signal rescuers.
How long have I been?
12 minutes. Head for the mountains.
Elliott's down.
Can't believe
His
this is
car's
how you kids talk to your
his car's
friends.
busted. I can see
This
it's
is talking.
kinda
Did you have a
skewed.
nice day? Look at the size of these butterfly shrimp. Ginormous. Butterfly shrimp? What?
I hope Gibbs crashed, but what the hell do I know? No, he didn't crash. Damn it.
We've got a report of angry rabbits on drugs.
Have subjects been observed as wascally?
Get out. Animal Control is the new comedy everyone's watching.
Hey!
Look at you guys running away from the little rabbits.
We were regrouping.
And it's the next great comedy series.
A cougar attacked an officer, broke through his ribcage, and ate his lungs.
Did he survive?
Without lungs?
Animal Control, starring Joel McHale. All new Thursday on Fox.
Much has changed over our 75 years. But the thing that never does, the anticipation, the holding of breath until that first green flag drops and the crazy journey begins all over again. If you could travel 75 years from now, you might not recognize much at all. But one thing will never change. That feeling you get when the race begins again.
I like it. It's mine. The prices blow my mind. I feel so rich. I feel like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire.
Bubba gets the free pass.
I'm shopping like a billionaire. Timu, Timu, I'm shopping like a billionaire. I get it straight from the makers. I'm shopping like a billionaire. Timu.
Download the Timu app and shop like a billionaire.
We got the house! We did it!
Pods handles the driving. Pack at your pace, store your things until you're ready, then we deliver to your new home, across town or across the country. Pods, your personal moving and storage team.
Finally.
Eric Jones backing up toward the garage. As you saw in our side-by-side coverage, this Daytona 500 has been a tough one for the 12 of Ryan Blaney and for the 45 of Tyler Reddick.
But where we need to watch is this 45 car and the 4 car on the outside. A little bit of gap here. Kevin closes in, contact with the 45. That's what also catches the 12.
And then it's on.
Ah, man! The 9 got clobbered.
It looked like Tyler was having trouble holding on to it, and as soon as that 4 got back to his bumper in the corner, it just unfortunately turned him right into the 12.
Let's listen.
Damn, Chase got clobbered. Oh.
Man, did you see how close Chastain?
I didn't notice Larson got wrecked too.
Eric Jones, Chase Elliott, Daniel Suarez are all collateral damage.
Suarez hit the outside pretty hard. The 9.
A lot of good cars.
Eric Jones, the Guns N' Roses cam shows you what happened to him.
So much my favorite paint scheme. You're welcome to the jungle. Got him.
Alright, now we wait. Oh, Lord. Well, 60% of the way through the race. And we had a wreck. Bubba Wallace should get the free pass.
In Daytona, where aerial coverage is provided by Goodyear, powering every lap, every mile, and every victory on the road ahead. Goodyear, more driven. Tyler Reddick's Toyota got a bump from Kevin Harvick. Ryan Blaney involved, Chase Elliott, Daniel Suarez, Eric Jones, all with damage. Martin Truex, Kyle Larson also got a little bit of that. There is a Jones car in the garage under repair. Blaney's car is on pit road where they're working on the right front, trying to keep him into the race. Jamie?
Well, yeah, and they continue to work on Blaney's car. There's extensive damage on the right front, but Jonathan Hassler, his crew chief, just said, we've got a plan. We've got time here. Let's just bring it in as many times as we need to fix it up. You see that hood is all buckled too. And the 9 of Chase Elliott, Mike, just a little update. They said that left rear A-arm was absolutely destroyed, and that ended their day.
Tough break for NASCAR's most popular driver. Elliott and Blaney were the favorites at the sports books to win the Daytona 500. And the Corvette Z06 pace car has some laps here at the World Center of Racing. Pit road is open. Regan.
Fun discussion on Kevin Harvick's radio. Do we want to stay out and get stage points or pit now, which would help us win this race in terms of track position at the end of the stage? They obviously decide to pit. Eric Almirola, that car just a little bit tight off at turn 4 right now. Josh.
Well, 5, Kyle Larson is getting 4 tires. They're going to look over the car to see if they got any damage in that last wreck. If it's fine, they're going to send him out. Jamie?
Chris Buescher in the 17, he said, this car is pretty stable. We're going to have some good opportunities here, so certainly keep your eye on him.
Ty Gibson's the race off pit road. Fucking hell.
8 laps to go in stage 2.
Never mind. Hendrick did, then Hamlin, then Gibbs, Byron, Almirola, Harvick, Buescher, Larson,
Chase Elliott,
Tyler
Reddick, and Eric Jones. Austin Cindric is the first off pit road ahead of Denny Hamlin and Ty Gibbs. Here's what put us under caution. Kevin Harvick with a bump to Tyler Reddick.
That rocking chair would look great in our new house.
Oh, a new house, eh? Well, you should definitely see how Geico could help you save on homeowners insurance.
Nice tip. I'll give you $2 for the chair.
2? That's a Victorian antique.
All right. How much for the recliner then?
Wait. How did that get out here? That is definitely not for sale.
Is this a yard sale?
If it's in the yard, then it's for sale.
Here we go.
Geico. It's easy to switch and save on homeowners and renters insurance.
The power of all the gods was stolen.
Alrighty. Wait a minute. Okay. BJ McLeod and Jimmy Johnson too fast in pit road. Great. Gotta work our way back up again. We got a little less than we got about 75 laps. Oh fuck! Logano's leading.
Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? 8 laps to go in stage 2. We're about to get the restart. Eric Jones.
Oh.
And watch Tyler Reddick versus the wall.
Oh.
That's how fast. Everybody always asks you, what does it feel like? It's the fastest, most violent impact ever. It's never really slow. It's just whack, and you saw how quick it really was.
Ready for the restart. Logano's Ford, Truex's Toyota on the front row. Chastain and Bowman in Chevys. Stenhouse and Allmendinger in Chevys. Bell's Toyota and Cindric's Ford. Then Hamlin and Byron the top 10 as we race to the end of
Oh geez, outer lane did not get going. That was just a really good push.
Off you by half. Top lane's going to be coming with a push mid-straight. Truex is still clear. Truex is still clear. Bottom's going to come.
Let's check in at the Advent Health Care Center. Michael Waltrip.
Thanks, Mike. Tyler Reddick, first of all, are you okay?
Yeah, actually, it wasn't too bad at all. Yeah, just hate it for the Monster Energy Toyota Camry TRD. I really felt like, we could push really well and we could actually make progress through the pack. But, yeah, I've just been not really in the lead much at all today. That was really the first time I was getting any pushes in the lead. And the car seemed a little unstable down the back straightaway. And then, obviously, into 3, Kevin was trying to push me. And, yeah, I just lost it. So if I would have known that earlier in the day, I probably would have been more careful about that. But that was really the first experience I had with that all day long, and it went bad.
Yeah, Kevin said he thought he might have hit you wrong, but you didn't feel much of a hit, huh?
I don't know. Like I said, down the back when he got on my back bumper, it just didn't really seem like.
Ooh, the bump, 22 and the 1 bumping off each other.
Really stable. I thought, okay, it moves around a little bit down the back. I've had this.
5 to go in the stage, by the way, so it's crunch time.
Off guard, but what happened in the corner there, unfortunately, just that was the first time that we've been put in that situation and got loose, and unfortunately took out some.
Chastain taking the lead on the outside line.
Denny's car all year long. Back to you, Mike.
Thanks, Michael.
Chastain fleets his first lap of the race.
Elliott and Tyler Reddick out of the race, joining Ty Dillon in the garage area. 4 to go in stage 2. 29 cars on the lead lap to settle it. Bubba Wallace got back on the lead lap on that caution. He got the free pass.
4 to go here. This is going to get really interesting. You don't have a pile of Fords stacked up. You have a mixed bag of everybody. Fords, Toyota, Chevys on the top. It's going to be interesting. 4 to go. Who makes the move and who goes with them, more importantly.
And look on the inside of that white and green number 16. Remember when A.J. Allmendinger raced his way to the lucky dog at the end of stage 1 to get back on the lead lap? Here he is in the top 5.
Almost forgot he's running full time now.
Aggressive move to do it. It's paid off so far. I don't know that I would have been brave enough to do that. I figured I would have got caught up, but he's made the most of it for sure.
Stenhouse in fourth? Where did he come? Wait.
Can't count him.
What? Where did he come from?
Very aggressive. Always there when the time's right.
Oh,
one here in the
Cindric moves down the block, the bottom.
Makes a block on the bottom.
Bowman now leading the outside.
Gave up the bumper of that Chevrolet.
I don't know where he came from.
Bowman. That's what I was talking about with 3 to go. I think it's any man's game. Nobody's really paired up. Gonna see. That spot will be telling him which line to go with. Who has that energy that we were talking about?
2 laps to go in stage 2 right now.
Even like behind you. Top of the momentum. Go. 2 more.
Chastain spotter Brandon McReynolds calling the plays here.
Moved up, slowed that outside line up, right down to the bottom. I think he wants to ride on that bottom. Here comes another run. Gonna have a decision to make.
Oh.
I like that, Tony. I think I stay on the bumper.
My God.
22. He's able to push hard and aggressive.
Well, here they come off turn 4 to the line.
Pole sitter Alex Bowman are leading the outside line.
1 to go, stage
Last
2,
lap of stage 2.
Even. Chastain and Bowman.
I think it was a coin toss for Ross in all reality. I mean, it's hard to sit there and just keep blocking both lanes, and they were so even. It wasn't like either lane was really getting a huge advantage over the other. Eventually, they're both coming at the same time. You just got to pick one.
First time the Florida melon farmer has led the Daytona 500.
Door to door like this, you're going to have to make maybe on the outside.
Aggressive push from the 22 to the 1.
Even top and bottom right there.
Truex in the 19 threw one shot the backstretch. He hit Logano, who hit Chastain, and that's the difference.
There we go. Man, at the line, it's Chastain! Bowman second, Stenhouse, Logano third. It's like Stenhouse fourth, Cindric fifth, Truex sixth, Byron seventh, Allmendinger eighth, Bell ninth, Buescher 10th.
Don't you remember that part?
Wow.
You just say it so much better than I do.
That's right.
Well, I didn't say it better than him, though.
No.
Whoa, by inches.
That was close.
Man, Cindric pulled to that third lane to get some stage points.
This small thing.
Oh my God.
When I make it go, wow. The all-new Dexcom G7 for all types of diabetes.
Can we even hit 100 views today for the 500? I know most people are watching at home, which is probably better.
And tracks your success, just like that. Not magic, just feels that way. Dexcom, powerful, simple diabetes management. I need to try it first.
Time for Downey McBride to go to work. Y'all gotta sniff this stuff. Smells great, Downey.
Cul-de-sacs.
Downey unstoppable. You gotta sniff it to believe it.
Saturday, January 28th, the Hartford Wolfpack take on the Syracuse Crunch at 7 p.m. It's New York Rangers night. See your future blue play in Hartford today before they make it to the Big Apple. There will be a special appearance by a New York Rangers alumni. Bring your skates and skate with your favorite future Rangers after the game. For tickets, go to hartfordwolfpack.com or scan the QR code now.
Who's got a motive?
Why am I the bad guy?
Accused is TV's most captive.
I'm trying to count 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We've had something like, we've had at least 13 commercials for this fucking race, and it's just pathetic.
The 19th, and his 19th started this race. Martin Truex Jr. is my guy.
Where we're going with numbers, Zane Smith won the truck race last year. He won the truck race Friday night. Austin Hill won the Xfinity Series race last year. He won the Xfinity Series race yesterday. Austin Cindric, you see where I'm going? It's going to all line up.
Hey guys, I feel like the Ford of Joey Logano has shown strength all day. He's been up front. He's been comfortable, hasn't had any issues. I feel like Joey Logano is the one to watch.
Tony Kevin Harvick has been very good all day long. He's got 4 tires already, going to gain some track position back right here. He and crew chief Rodney Childers only have 1 box left to check. That's a Daytona 500. I feel good about what he's going to do in a little bit.
Regan, I'm looking at the outliers, the drivers that are going to sneak up and surprise you. William Byron is driving a car whose number has won the Daytona 500 3 times. Hasn't led yet, hasn't run in the front yet, but wait till the end. And that's your Credit One Bank. Ones to watch. .68 laps to go. End of the second stage. Pit road will be open this time. Let's check with Regan.
Mike Joey Logano continuing to try and get that car to handle just a little bit better. Being up front has helped it some. Right now he's tight behind other cars, and when other cars are right behind him, he gets too free. Ross Chastain, that race car just a little bit too tight. Not bad, just a small adjustment for him. Josh.
Kurt Bell in the 20 has been riding around relatively patient so far. Not a fan of super speedways, but he's found himself back inside the top 10 as he gets fuel and tires. Jamie.
Alex Bowman in the 48 struggled getting into his box straight, but he nailed it that time. They've made a chassis adjustment and air pressure adjustment on the last couple of stops. Didn't make much of adjustment, so no changes there. Got enough fuel and tires.
At a very close race off pit road, sponsored by Ram, Eric Almirola picked up 12 positions, beating Chris Buescher to the line. William Byron +4, Kyle Larson +8. We're getting set for the final and longest stage. Ready for the finish of the Daytona 500. Things have been kind of frantic so far.
COVID-19 and being overweight makes it more risky. I'm calling my doctor. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Authorized for emergency use, Paxlovid is an oral treatment for people 12 and up who have mild to moderate COVID-19 and have a high risk factor for it becoming severe.
My symptoms are mild now, but I'm not waiting. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Having even one risk factor, like being over 50, diabetes, or smoking, increases your chances of severe COVID. Taken within 5 days of symptoms, Paxlovid reduced the risk of developing severe COVID-19 by 86%.
Paxlovid may strengthen or weaken other medicines. Taking it with certain medicines may cause life-threatening side effects or affect how Paxlovid works. So it's critical to tell your doctor about all medicines you take, including herbal supplements, because lab tests or changing the dose of your medicines may be needed. Tell your doctor if you have any serious illnesses, allergies, liver or kidney disease, are pregnant or plan to become pregnant, are breastfeeding or use birth control. Paxlovid may affect how your birth control works. Don't take Paxlovid if you're allergic to nirmatrelvir, ritonavir, or any of its ingredients. Serious side effects can include allergic reactions, liver problems, and issues with HIV medicines. Other side effects include altered taste, diarrhea, high blood pressure, muscle aches, abdominal pain, nausea, and feeling unwell.
With my asthma, I knew it could be riskier. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Ask your doctor or pharmacist if Paxlovid is right for you.
1 minute, we're doing 110 down at Sandy Beach in Florida. And the next, we're bumper to bumper at over 210 on a super speedway.
I love this commercial.
How the heck we get here? Progress. That's how.
Coming to the white flag, and Labonte takes the lead.
75 years of twisted metal, feet made of lead.
He taps it.
Clashing.
Tail hits him. They're out of it.
fighting for everything, not giving away an inch.
Wait, that's not even
like
like car.
75 years of
That's a 15.
And their rocket ships. Each one built
like
with one
it's
thing
on the. Oh wait, so there's on the Kale. The Kale dining fight.
Because out there is where the future is.
So I saw the 15 Bud Moore cars. Oh my, wait, that's not the one of the 11. But then I remember Bobby Allison was also in the fight. And at one point he was driving for Bud Moore, so I should probably double check that real quick.
Daytona International Speedway, and we are trackside with Daytona
Okay,
500 winner
yeah.
Jamie
He was with the Bud Moore team, so never mind. That's accurate.
Boy, Brad Keselowski, hoping for that first ever Daytona 500, has led the most laps. Ryan Preece has turned the fastest lap so far at 196 miles per hour. First two stages, Jamie. What caught your attention?
Well, Kyle Busch speeding on pit road. We talked about this is a race that Kyle Busch hasn't been able to win yet. He made a mistake, but he's back on the lead lap now. Can he get back to the front?
All right, we look ahead. Stage 3, what are you looking for? More aggressiveness? It seems like some cautious, careful, other than the wreck that we hit at almost 300 miles in.
Yeah, Chris, they're going to have to get more aggressive to get those lanes to move. I think that the pit sequence of when the manufacturers pit played a huge role in how that cycled out. But as we get to the end of this, we haven't seen three-wide racing today. In order to make progress on the track, the guys are going to get more aggressive. I think we're going to see more wrecks. But who can take that push? We saw Tyler Reddick. His car didn't want to accept that.
And where do you want to be as it gets late? Outside, and you know yet?
I don't think that we know exactly where we're going to be. Ross Chastain chose to be on the bottom. He thought that was going to be the better lane. It looked like Alex Bowman was going to beat him to the start-finish line, but it was mere inches that made that. So it's going to be all about who's behind you, I think, more importantly, as to what lane you're in.
We've already had 36 lead changes in this Daytona 500. Mike Joy, that's more than we had through the entire race all of last year.
Thanks, Chris. Yes, it's been a very competitive day here in Daytona. Now, competitive, Saturday primetime hoops is back with a massive game on Fox. 14th ranked Indiana collide with the third-ranked Boilermakers as Purdue looks to avenge an early season loss to the Hoosiers. That big showdown begins Saturday, 7:30 Eastern on Fox. .65 laps to go. There's Kevin Harvick riding in 7th. In honor of his final season, Busch Light's giving away $50 grand toward a lucky fan's retirement and other huge prizes. Follow @BuschBeer on Twitter. Tweet #Busch401K and #sweepstakes during every lap that ends in 4 for your chance to win. 32 cars on the lead lap right now. Kyle Busch got the free pass at the end of stage 2. So there is Bubba Wallace, who did not pit. He stayed out. He is the leader.
Interesting.
As we come to the choose, where
maybe he pit before the last, before the stage caution.
To restart in. You'll see a big orange V
Where's
right
Stenhouse is at the back. Maybe he had problems. All right. It said they think it's 32 cars. Back to Travis Pastrana.
This is where that choose cone really gets interesting back here. They're listening to them spotters. They're seeing how many cars in which line. Forget about which Chevrolets or which Fords or which Toyotas are in which. At this point, it's which cars are in which line.
Oh.
A couple of drivers have come in to top off the tank to begin the green flag racing of stage 3. Now, we did have penalties. Ross Chastain was too fast entering pit road on the electronic timing system. Christopher Bell ran over equipment. And Noah Gragson had an uncontrolled tire during that round of pit stops, so they will all be restarting out back. Now, Larry tells us Bubba Wallace changed 4 tires on the caution before, so those tires only had 6 or 7 green flag laps on them. Why stop?
It's not going to matter. It's not like any of the other tracks where tire wear is a big issue. It's a great move to getting track position, and I can promise you, this is the point in the race where we're going to start seeing business picking up.
Josh?
Yep, but exactly what you guys said. That was a strategy play to stay out since they wanted to get that track position back. Remember, I mentioned before they had that rear toe link issue. They're going to keep riding around with it. It hasn't turned out to be a bigger problem. So the 23 riding good right now.
I think we're going to restart with 64 to go.
His last win came at Talladega after a speeding penalty. Here is the Geico restart zone. The control car, which is Bubba Wallace, gets to choose where he hits the gas, and the starter will then wave the green flag. 25% longer at each end than it was last year. And we're back to green for stage 3.
About 1.5. Come back bottom if you want to stall. Come back to the top. So 2 back to the top. 1 back and have a shove up top. 1 back. Coming. With you now.
You hear about the spot of Freddie Kraft telling him, coming on the outside, how far they're coming back. And you can tell by his voice whether he wants you to pull up and move that line, you know, and block that line or stay where he was. Obviously, he chose to move.
Oh, this God, the stress. Oh, God, the stress.
Let's see if it works out for them.
Almirola out in the lead. Oh, geez. 23 is not... 17 is not clear.
Almirola, one of 16 different leaders in this Daytona 500. 38 lead changes now. Ford has been out front for 69 laps. Chevrolet for 24. Toyota for 45. All right, thanks to Wendy's. We're going to take a ride with Noah Gragson in his number 42 Wendy's Chevrolet.
They're wrecking. 2 inside. Everybody's clear. Nobody wrecked. 2 inside. Caution is out. Debris in 2.
Oh, come on. Debris caution? Really?
Second caution for cause of this Daytona 500. And it comes at lap 140.
Oh, whose tire? That's a tire. Oh, Blaney.
This might do it for Ryan Blaney.
Had a lot of damage on that car. Apparently something rubbed on that tire, cut it, and it came off the rim and onto the racetrack. Blaney, of course, was involved in that big accident at lap 119, but was able to make repairs and continue. 61 laps to go. We'll take you, Fox, side by side.
I hope we've used up all of our caution time, all of our commercial time. Oh, we're going side by side during a fucking commercial.
The writers of a we've crash landed on an uncharted planet 65 million years ago. There's something up there. Humans discovered Earth. We need to be quiet and move. Exclusively in movie theaters, March 10th.
All right, everybody, it's 2 of any of these for just $6.
So, what about a Dave single and a 10-piece nug?
Yes, Tyler.
What about a classic chicken sandwich?
Yes.
2 Dave singles.
That works too.
How much would it cost?
$6. Anybody else? Everybody get it?
Mr. Willie, could you maybe draw something that could help us?
Are you serious? I drew this.
Is that supposed to be lettuce?
Oh my goodness.
When you want the best deal on the best food, choose wisely. Choose Wendy's 2 for $6 today.
Hey, oh.
A promise is a trust not to be broken. Whether spoken with an oath,
Do solemnly swear.
It's your first day. You know I got your back, right?
or sealed with a pinky. In 1922, a group of soldiers launched USAA with a promise to take care of their own. And after 100 years, we're still taking care of the military community and their families. That's our mission. Always.
This is the truck that helps keep families safe. And the truck that helps you get far from home. The truck that lets you move mountains and then climb them. This is the truck of the outdoors, the early adopters, and the rising generation. This is the one more truck owners are switching to. This is what it means to be a Ram.
I love puppies.
Well, I love that I switched to Verizon. My other network used to drive me crazy.
Yeah.
And with Welcome Unlimited for just $25, I love that I got an awesome network and save money doing it.
I know, $25. But what I love is that it's guaranteed for 3 years.
Yeah. Well, what I love is I got to keep my phone, more savings.
But I love...
Hey, we're sitting on a sign here.
Switch and get Welcome Unlimited for just $25 a line, guaranteed for 3 years. The savings that last on the network you want. Verizon.
60 laps to go in Daytona next Sunday. The NASCAR Cup Series roars into Southern California for the final race on the 2-mile oval in Fontana before that track gets reconfigured. Will Kyle Larson repeat? Will we have a new West Coast king? You'll find out when the pre-race begins 2:30 Eastern, green flag at 3:30 here on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Tony Stewart will join us in Fontana and come back for Atlanta after Danica Patrick joins Clint and me in the booth for Las Vegas and Phoenix.
Wait.
I'll take 2 weeks off and go do a little racing myself.
Who's in the booth?
Run the Baby
I just got back here. Who did they say was in the booth?
National event, the Gator Nationals, that'll also be on Fox.
You got more day jobs than anybody I know.
Please tell me I didn't just see Danica again.
But none of them have a time card. None of them have a time card. That's what I love about Tony Stewart. He works his tail off. He's never really clocked into anything.
So we want to show you something here that Fox has been working on with the folks at Driver's Eye, and I don't even know how close I have to get.
No, fuck, Danica's coming back again. She's one of
the entire camera and transmission system. The lens on that is less than 1/8 of an inch in diameter. That's our Driver's Eye, and it sits in the padding just to the side of the temple of the driver, between him and the shell, the outer part of the helmet. And that's it. That's all there is to it. There's a tiny cable to tether it and transmit the signal. That's it.
It actually sits on the padding.
On
and that's
the padding,
the
not
coolest
in.
thing
Yes.
about it is it doesn't, affect the helmet whatsoever.
No, this
It's
is
not
good.
on the outside of it, so all the safety features aren't compromised. Pretty cool feature for all of our guys out there and you guys at home.
It's awesome technology.
That could be the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Since we've started broadcasting NASCAR on Fox. Sure. And high marks and thanks to Andy Jeffers of Fox Sports, who coordinates our in-cars, and Peter Larson, who brought tiltable, panable onboard cameras to NASCAR, and his group at BSI. They work closely with the teams to give you these wonderful views from the Driver's Eye. Let's go to pit road and Jamie.
Pretty incredible technology indeed there, Mike. Well, Alex Bowman in the 48, he had come in and topped off after that last round of pit stops. And on the restart, they started stacking up, and he got into the 42, dropped down on the apron, and see it right there. He had that issue, brought it onto pit road. You see the left front damage. Good news is it's just cosmetic. Everything underneath looks good for the 48.
Pit stops. Beat stop.
Thanks, Jamie. 33 cars on the lead lap, including Riley Herbst, who got the free pass.
Riley Herbst to back on the lead lap. Unbelievable.
In turn number 2. Cliff Daniels, Kyle Larson's crew chief. We listened in on them.
Also, this is very late. Today's matchup for the top 175 drivers bracket. It's 58 seed Ernie Irvin, a 15-time winner, and the 1991 Daytona 500 winner, versus seat 71 Bob Wellborn, a 9-time winner and 3-time convertible division champion.
You got to stay in that pack, and we go back to that fuel savings mode.
And the NASCAR used to have a convertible series.
Cliff Daniels tells him that.
And out of the 4 seasons, 3 of them were won by Bob Wellborn.
You're down to half throttle at times to stay off the car in front of you, saving a lot of fuel.
The hard part is you almost are having to commit to that strategy. This is the point of the race where you either got to be making your plans to move your way forward, or if this is a scenario where Cliff and Kyle make that decision to go for fuel mileage, then you have to be committed to staying in the back of the pack where you can run that part throttle and not keep pumping the gas.
And this is something where our sport has evolved so much. Because of the data, the live SMT data, these teams can see what that driver's doing inside that cockpit live. So they know exactly what he's doing to that throttle pedal and exactly how much fuel he is saving them.
Austin Cindric in 6th for the restart. We remind you that Kyle Larson was leading this race in 2017 and ran out of gas on the final lap.
He's going to save just a little bit more. 2.5 miles more, better. He can do it.
Fords up front, Almirola and Buescher. Look at this sellout crowd. Not an infield standing room only ticket to be had today. A complete sellout for this Daytona 500. We are back to green. Bubba Wallace chose the outside and moved up a couple of rows in the process, so he's alongside Almirola now for this restart.
You're clear, he's not. He's clear. Harvick's not. 23 stalled him out. 11's coming to help Harvick. You in the 17's still clear. Carling's back to 17. Harvick's a half back of him. Half to the 17. Harvick's not clear high. 17's on you.
Now remember, Wallace has less fuel on board than the cars he's racing against. He did not come to pit road recently.
And he looks like he's slowing that 2 car down. I don't think they're going to take long. He's got a lot of Fords behind him. I'm talking about Austin Cindric. I look for him to maybe make a move on Bubba and try to get going here.
Oh, he's going to get stuck in the middle.
There it is.
Oh, he tries to... No.
Whole middle here, clear down, 1 back, inside.
I didn't think it was going to take long, and it didn't. Man, what a half a lap there by Austin Cindric. He was completely sideways. Here comes Keselowski. This is exactly how it happens.
I was surprised they had Bubba stuck in the middle.
LaJoy up to 5th. That's nice to see. Justin Haley in 8th. Priest in 9th. Johnson fighting for the top 10.
Wow. Yeah, Priest is just stacked up behind the 2 car there, and then as soon as we get to that spot we were talking about on the entry and the exit of the corner, got tight, and then it grabbed the right front, sheared him loose.
Well, I agree. Christopher Bell was a good soldier there to let his Toyota stablemate Bubba Wallace have a spot in the inside line. Thanks to Toyota, we're going to stay right here instead of going to a Toyota commercial. We're going to have commercial-free racing from Daytona as we go Toyota all out.
Oh, good.
184, 54, 23 out the back. Half in front of Kevin.
I'm guessing maybe they got all the commercials they needed at this point because they weren't expecting so much fucking how little crashes we actually had. So many we were not expecting as little cautions as we had.
Will be 17 got jacked up a little bit, nothing from the 10. Here comes the 11. 11's going to push. Here to the 10. Top's pushing as well. 2 by 2. Nothing from the 10. Half in front, 3/4 in front. One in front, 1 out the back. Leaving, half to Harvick. Still half out the back, 2 in front of Kevin. 1/4 in front. 17's going to stay top with the teammate to 6. Half in front, 2 by 2. 2 by 2.
With 20 years in NASCAR competition, the Toyota racing family continues to grow their racing legacy. Here's a closer look.
Celebrating their 20th season in NASCAR competition, Toyota has earned 585 wins across NASCAR's top 3 series. From the introduction of the Tundra to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series in 2004 to 3 championships in the Cup Series, Toyota looks to add to their growing racing pedigree in 2023. Let's go places.
.51 laps to go. Chris Buescher, Brad Keselowski, RFK
RFK 1-2
on point in the low groove.
And there are a lot of Fords stacked up on both the inside and outside lanes right now.
The first Toyota is Hamlin in 7th. The first Chevrolet, the 7 of Corey LaJoie, in 10th. Otherwise, it's a blue oval brigade. Boy, Priest giving the 2 of Cindric all he can handle, trying to send him forward and challenge that low line.
That car is very, very light on its feet with the back. I'm telling you, hold on to it, Austin. Wagging its tail all over the place, Tony.
See the 4, Kevin Harvick, move up in front of Austin Cindric as well. The 10 in front of the 4.
Inside line, it's Denny Hamlin. First time I think he's led.
Look at this.
Ooh, Harvick forced out.
Spit Kevin out. Austin turned right underneath of him.
34 going to come inside. You'll be too wide with them. Just keep him tight.
I didn't see that happen, and I don't think Kevin Harvick did either. I think he thought Cindric was going to go with him. Did not.
Well, Tony, what have you long said? If you can move the guys you think will be hardest to beat, that's who you're going after.
Yeah, and it's, you know, I know the manufacturers work really hard in pre-race meetings talking about taking care of each other, racing at the end, but you've got to do what you have to do. I mean, you have to do and put yourself in scenarios that you think are ultimately, at the end of the day, going to benefit you, your race team, and your organization.
All right, since we had a caution bust out when we were riding along with Noah Gragson, we're going to take another ride with him and his number 42 Wendy's Chevrolet.
That was me. I was saying 50 to go.
Man, outside. Interference, you got to text me something if you're saying something to me. Hey, 1 off in the back. Half off in the back. Still out there.
Gragson was 5th here last summer. That voice was Earl Barbin, longtime spotter for Jimmy Johnson, as Jimmy was at Team Hendrick.
LaJoie pushing out Hamlin in the lead.
NASCAR. Well, that outside lane, they have fought their way up almost right to the front of the pack. They're there.
A little bit of a gap you can see there between Denny Hamlin and Corey LaJoie, and that gives that outside line a little bit of time to get some energy and just go blowing by on the outside.
That RFK duo of Buescher and
wow, outside lane got it
together.
Good.
You're not going to see that 6 car get off his bumper until it's time. It's going to be hard to handle, but they're going to have to try to do these blocks together, choose which line they're going to move up in front of or down in front of. Harder to do with 2 cars.
Oh!
Just did it right there in front of the 11, stack them up.
Oh, man,
got turned by
Jesus.
LaJoie.
Almirola back up front.
It's like I said, that's hard to do when you got 2 cars working.
Remember Kevin Harvick? They're on the outside, 3 wide. He was right up there with that front pack. Now he is back at 19th. And it's his final season, so Busch Light's giving away $50,000 to a lucky fan's retirement, along with other huge prizes. Follow @BuschBeer on Twitter. Tweet #Busch401k and #sweepstakes during every lap like this one, every lap that ends in a 4, for your chance to win.
It's going to roll again.
These guys are getting impatient, especially a guy like Stenhouse. You see right there in front of Kevin. It's easy to do, but you got to realize we still have a pit stop. There's still things that are going to shake this race up. Don't get greedy here. Be patient.
Larry Mack.
Yeah, Mike, Kyle Larson in that 5 is back there in the 15th position. Remember, Cliff Daniels told him when they topped off there with 60 to go at lap 140 that if they save fuel, they can make it. Well, we've run 12 laps since the restart, and I'm hard-pressed to find any time of any lap he's more than 60% throttle, so definitely saving fuel on that 5.
Still 45 laps to go. Dare we try going Fox side by side one more time? We dare. 45 to go.
All right, 45 laps to go. I can't
will
sit
remain
still.
radioactive for years to come. Well, thank goodness it's time for the good news of the week.
And boy, do we need it.
Outside lane prevailing. Oh, man. Chris, I know I've been talking a lot. I'm just like, the tension's building within me. I just want to watch. I don't want to come in, I just want to watch. Anyway, Chris Buescher currently leads with Roush Fenway, Keselowski teammate Brad Keselowski in second place. That's Almirola, followed by Austin Cindric. Ryan Preece currently in fifth. And a couple of underdogs, Harrison Burton sixth, and Michael McDowell seventh. LaJoie is falling back to 12th. Oh God, the stress. Oh God, the stress. Oh, that's weird. That's never happened to me before. The race center just crashed.
With 41 laps
Cut up on
to go.
40 to go, the 80% mark.
Among the 16 leaders of this race, we've had 45 lead changes. And in the 64-year history of this race, only 6 times have there been more lead changes than we've had already today.
See that I call it links in the chain, guys. The outside, it's like a chain out there, and the links in the chain are tight. The inside, they're crammed up, and then they get slack in the chain. All of that, you know, accordion effect slows the overall performance of each line down. That outside line has their line put together better. That's why they're in front.
Well, look who's sitting in 6th place, Harrison Burton for the Wood Brothers,
Suarez
who have
getting
won this
little
race
bit
5 times with their fabled number 21. Jamie?
Yes, and the 22-year-old driver Harrison Burton, I talked to him about his first Daytona 500 last year, flipped over upside down. He said he's so much better prepared for today's race. He said it's all about situational awareness, knowing where to put my car at every given moment. Even when you're single file or under caution, you're thinking about those scenarios, and it's paying off right now. He's been running top 10, doing a nice job in 6th right now, Ruben.
Maybe Eric Almirola won his dual race the other night, and you would think just keep the car exactly like that. But crew chief Drew Blickensderfer told me they made significant changes to the balance of that car. They wanted more security for the race today. They felt like when it got down to the end, they needed just a little bit of that. Keep an eye on him as this race plays out, because of those changes may give him the ability to make a little bit more aggressive move when he needs to. And speaking of aggressive, crew chief Drew Blickensderfer also said that this is the most aggressive he has ever seen Eric Almirola as a driver. A ton of confidence in that 10 car.
He has come within a mile of winning the Daytona 500.
LaJoy leading the outside line.
Last lap. Daniel Suarez in purple on the left.
Got Hale, Justin Haley, and Jimmy Johnson behind him.
Well, he just doesn't have the pace to hold up Denny Hamlin like that, and Denny knows he has got to get around. They can't just keep letting that inside line fall further back.
Yeah, you heard me talk about that chain as I describe it, but Suarez is a big part of that problem too. It just didn't seem like that car has the speed that they needed. I think Denny thought they were holding him up, and he took care of that.
Denny Hamlin always has a fast Toyota here. Only 4 drivers have led more laps in Daytona 500s than Denny Hamlin, and they are all in the Hall of Fame, all 4 of them. Petty, Earnhardt, Baker, Yarborough.
Which Baker? Buddy or Buck?
Last time Roush Racing, or Roush Fenway, and now Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing led the Daytona 500 was 9 years ago.
Wait, last time they led it or won it?
At the front,
they led it. Wow.
Keselowski, they could be hard to handle.
They are, and like Clint was saying, look at the outside line and the link there. There's getting some gaps in there, and that's kind of around the area that Kyle Larson's in. Maybe running that part throttle is kind of breaking that outside line up. I don't think they're trying to do it intentionally, but he's trying to not sit there and have to. Anytime you accelerate with the throttle pedal, it's asking for more fuel than when you're just wide open.
Well, the other problem that they have on that inside line is when you got 7 Fords in a row in line, they're not going to give up on one another.
No.
Yeah, 7 Fords.
Kyle Busch got a free pass to get back on the lead lap, finds himself right now in 17th. What's going on with the 8?
Well, it's all about keeping an eye on the fuel for the 8 car of Kyle Busch. The last time in, they topped off the fuel, hoping that the next and hopefully final stop for them, they can have a shorter one, go through 1 can of fuel, they get back out and get better track position for the final run, guys.
36 laps to go. And 1 pit stop between here and the checkered flag.
Blaney and Connor Daly losing more laps.
Tires are starting to wear out.
And before pit stops, we're going to take you Fox side by side one more time. Chris Buescher leading the Daytona 500.
And after 22 seasons, this will be Kevin Harvick's last.
You can learn a lot about a man by watching him work. Watch his drive for greatness. Watch him break down, and then watch him break through. After 22 years of watching Kevin Harvick work, we know you can always count on the closer.
Kevin Harvick is not done yet.
I like it. It's mine. The prices blow my mind. I feel so
1/6 of the race to go.
I feel like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. Timo, I'm shopping like a billionaire. I get it straight.
Yeah, outside lines prevailing. Choo choo.
Download the Timo app and shop like a billionaire.
Gillette presents the Gillette Labs with Exfoliating Bar. The bar and the handle removes unseen dirt and debris that gets in the way of the blades for effortless shaving in one efficient stroke. All with a lifetime warranty. And if you want to keep the beard, use King C Gillette, a lineup of products designed to cleanse, soften, trim, and style for your best beard. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Almost heaven, West Virginia.
I've been on that dating app, but girls are actually 400 miles away.
I have dated a lot of guys in the city. It hasn't worked out for me.
Oh,
she's too pretty
take
to be
me
in a place
home to the place where I belong. West Virginia.
I thought it was gonna be.
Mountain Mama. No, on the roads.
crafts, sporting goods, restaurants, and the future of NASCAR all from your neighborhood. DoorDash.
"32 laps to go in the Daytona 500. That Ford-led group out front, leading the field. And here
Daytona,
are the winners.
Oh, season opener winners.
The Daytona Speed
Zane Smith and Austin Hill. They both won
all three of those champions.
The Daytona race to start the season.
First time ever.
This year and last year. Concentric make it.
Champs are in the race.
Concentric do it too.
Zane Smith in the trucks, of course, Joey Logano in the Cup Series. Chris Buescher is the leader. There are 3.5 times as many people here today as live in his hometown of Prosper, Texas, as they cheer him on. And his teammate, Brad Keselowski, who came to RFK Racing from Team Penske, trying to rebuild what originally was Roush Racing.
10 Eric Amarola with the Smithfield Ford. Austin Cindric, both been up front all day. Eric's been extremely happy with his car. Let's see what happens here.
Ryan Preece right behind them, holding a pretty wheel. He's had that track position, done a good job so far. Got to get to the end of this thing. We all know it. Harrison Burton behind him in tow. These guys are looking good right now.
Micah McDowell may be just where he wants to be, in 7th place. Nobody kind of noticing his front row motorsports Ford kind of when he worked his way to the front in the closing laps of the Daytona 500 that he won 2 years ago.
And you've got the 11 of Denny Hamlin and the 99 of Daniel Suarez. We saw Hamlin go by Suarez on the inside line, get shuffled out, and Denny was able to work his way back up and get back in front of Suarez to get back on that outside line.
It's like we got some lines forming up.
Kyle Larson along the bottom, and Austin Dillon. We haven't seen much of the three today. He is a past Daytona 500 champion.
Bubba Wallace had to take a pit. He had to pit, or it's going to be out of gas. We knew that.
Okay, Bubba's bailed because he needs to pit.
Bubba Wallace
it's his last pit stop.
Remember, he came in a little bit earlier before, and now he's going to top off and get tires on that right side.
Yeah, his last stop was 11 laps before anybody else because he chose to stop early and get track position, put him back up front.
It's going to get interesting, guys. This is going to split the field really right in half. All these guys, front runners, the reason they're moving to the bottom, they're looking to pit, and that window's coming quick. Won't be long.
So 9 drivers will likely pit together because they have 38 laps on this load of fuel. And that will leave about 7 drivers who can go another 6, 7, 8 laps further.
Yeah, it'll probably be, maybe tops another 10 after that. It'll depend on how they come out, what kind of lap times they're running, and we'll bring those guys in. But nonetheless, all your front runners here, the 17, 6, 4, 10, 11, all of them were the ones that pitted the last time on lap 133.
And this will be the money stop. Hit your marks. Make no mistakes. Watch your speed. Don't do anything fancy. Just do everything right.
I told Clint, I said, don't be surprised if this is where the last caution of the race could happen. Guys, knowing that they have to hit their marks and knowing that they got to get everything they can, but it always forces somebody to do a mistake.
Kyle Busch fights his way back up into the top 10.
We see that line that was dominant on the outsides now move to the bottom. Like you say, getting closer to the pit stops, you can't just stay on the outside. You're going to have to get yourself down to where you can be in position to get to pit road.
I definitely think that was the play. They, jockeying for position, got down to the bottom of the inside where they can come as a group. But, man, it takes me back to the start of this race. What we learned? When all those cars came together, they weren't very efficient. This might be an opportunity for some of these other cars.
Chris Buescher and Brad Keselowski, they need to pit together. They need to come off
Bubba
pit
about
road
to get
together
lapped.
Just do it faster than anybody else to maintain that twosome at the lead, and they're going to be tough to deal with. That, however, is a tall order. When you have half a dozen to a dozen cars on pit road at once.
Spot on, Mike, but that all goes out the window when you pit. If you pit with too big a group or you don't come out with the right amount of help when the time's right, I don't care how fast 2 cars are, that won't be enough.
What's the magic number of cars in a draft for maximum speed?
I don't know. Clint and I were talking about it. I think Clint actually I mean, I think you should explain it. I think you're spot on your assessment.
I think 5 to 8 cars is more efficient, performance-wise, speed-wise, than 28 cars, believe it or not. When they try to move them around, especially coming onto pit road, I mean, we learned it. We saw it with the Toyotas. That's why you saw Rodney Childers and a few others make those adjustments. When those guys come in with only 4 or 5 cars in front of them, they didn't have to move around and stall and everything else coming out of their pit wall. They did their pit stops a lot more efficiently.
It's just like a freight train. The longer the freight train, the more you hear the couplers clanging as they go back and forth.
There's those hands. 175 taking 172. This is a little bit earlier than I expected them to come.
All right, let's see if the 17 and 6 teams are up on their game. Here they
go. Count 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cars, including the lap car of Ryan Blaney, and another Ford.
The directive from crew chief Drew Blickensderfer was to get all the way to the left. Expect gas only. Josh.
Brad Keselowski,
no tires, just gas.
See him getting topped off, hoping this is the time he finally can get
the last eighth of the race.
Jamie.
And his teammate Chris Buescher led 32 laps in this race already. They don't need anything. This car is good. It's fuel only for the 17.
9 cars came to pit road. At least 5 of them will leave in a draft together.
I don't know if that was by design or not, but 22 and the 14, they were stuck on the outside. They couldn't come with their Fords.
Nope, Logano is still stuck way out there.
Ooh.
And here come the Toyotas.
That's going to be awkward.
Hamlin and Truex.
Never mind.
Regan.
I thought there were. And Herbst and Pastrana. It's not all the Toyotas. It's Truex, Pastrana, Hamlin, and then Herbst, who obviously is not a Toyota.
One of the best pit crews on pit road last year.
We're gonna have all sorts of groups running all over the place.
To do there, fuel only for Martin Truex Jr.
The problem is, it's only a pair of cars coming off pit road, and they're going to have to work their way together.
Look at the separation in Truex.
Herbst and Pastrana's problem is it's basically Hamlin and Truex. Pastrana's not going to be able to catch up that well, and Herbst is a Rick Ware car. So here we got some Fords plus Ty Gibbs. I see Harvick, Logano, Bell. Okay, Bell, Toyota, and Briscoe.
Along with Harvick, Gibbs,
McDowell, Harvick, Briscoe, Gibbs, and Bell.
Nobody taking on tires. A timed stop for fuel. And then the go sign. Jamie.
Michael McDowell in the Love's car, the number 34, won this race in 2021. He told his team on the radio, guys, we've got to nail this. No mistakes. It's fuel only. Make sure this goes well, and it does.
Now, those 5 cars come off pit road together. They'll have a chance to draft back up, and we'll see if Click's theory holds.
Here comes some more cars.
Turn 4 and more peel off. This is a larger group.
Chastain, Larson, Suarez, Allmendinger, Dillon, Bowman, Stenhouse, 2 more.
Today under yellow. Right now the car is just a little bit tight. Exit needs some help from pushers. Josh.
Well, remember the 5 was considering pushing it on the fuel, change of plans, decided to come in and get topped off, Jamie.
Bill Gregson in the 42, the Las Vegas driver. Pretty happy with his car. Second Daytona 500 for him, going for Rookie of the Year.
Jimmy Johnson.
He's going to come around the next time, Mike.
Excuse me, Jimmy Johnson in that group overcoming a speeding penalty back at lap 119. That will leave only Harrison Burton out there among the cars that stopped at lap 133. Now some of those that last stopped at lap 140 coming to pit road along with Burton. Regan.
The last set of cars pitting.
Logano is to stop on his side.
They
need exactly 3.5 seconds of fuel is all.
Josh?
And the 8 of Kyle Busch is a little bit loose in the center. They came in to get topped off. Jamie?
Harrison Burton, they called for 5 seconds of fuel. I'm not sure he was even in his box for 5 seconds, but a quick stop, and there goes Noah Grakes in the 42. They got their fuel.
And 6 cars exit pit road together. Ricky Stenhouse will be coming back. 2 fast exits.
Stenhouse too fast. Well, that sucks. Who's leading?
So now everyone has made what should be the final pit stop of the race with 20 laps to go.
Larson, that 5 car.
Yeah, that 5 car's got a big. It's a draft of 4 cars.
The rest of them got out quicker. I think the advantage right here goes
Harrison
to the
Burton Burton's the leader right now. Logano.
That group right there.
Or is that Logano? No, maybe it's Gregson.
Gonna have to get up here.
Here they go.
There's the original leaders: Keselowski, Buscher.
Right
ahead of them.
The 4 cars on the left stopped later so they could take less fuel, and they're out in front of the Fords that were leading before green flag pit stops.
Yes, sir.
So Harrison, Logano, Byron.
This 3-car duo in front of them. Burton, Logano, and Byron. See if they're able to make quick time of them when they catch them.
Oh, we got a wreck! Oh, please tell me Ty Gibbs got hit. Yeah, of course I'm reading. Oh, Priest down, McDowell down.
A little bit different.
A pile up in turn 1 with 18 laps to go. Michael McDowell,
Truex,
Ryan Priest, Martin Truex
Priest
among those involved.
I thought I saw Ty Gibbs in it. Possibly Harvick.
Kevin Harvick with damage to the right front. And Priest had such a great Daytona 500 going. And it's gone. This will be the 5th caution flag of the day.
Well, the fuel strategy completely warped the field, and now Harrison Burton's out front.
Multi-car pileup of this Daytona 500. Martin Truex thought that 19 would be his lucky number. It's February 19th. It's his 19th Daytona 500. The crash happens with 19 laps to go.
We'll see what happens here when they get to turn 1.
I think them also. You can see the pipes and the 2-car. He was lifting hard. McDowell gets in the back of Priest, turns him around. The rest is history. But I take it back to Gregson. You see that lap car?
Oh, he did get Gibbs.
Always movement like that creates them stacking up.
And Ryan Priest has driven to the garage. Berlin, Connecticut driver. Had a great 500 going. And you'll see the accordion-like contact here in that upper lane. Just all piles together.
When you see that fireball come out of the pipes, that means they lift. That raw fuel's in the pipes all the way out of the gas, and it just so on and so forth, stacked them all the way up through the field. Finally, one of them got spit out.
We're going to ride with the Bass Pro Shops cam on board Martin Truex.
Whoa.
Boom.
And Martin had no idea what was happening there. That happened so quick, there was no way he could react to that.
Well, Johnny, one of them's out. Still got one left. Austin Dillon's still in this thing.
Denny Hamlin's view.
Look how fast that happens.
Whoa.
They all tried. No way you're going to avoid that.
And Kevin Harvick in his final Daytona 500. Chase Briscoe. Let's check out the Mahindra cam. Driver's eye for Chase Briscoe. Wow.
Man.
Tony, he hit everything but the lottery.
Unfortunately.
Yes. Yep. Well, of those last 4 replays, 3 of those were your cars, all coming to grief.
Yeah, thanks for
one
pointing that
pile
out.
up here. I'm sorry. I'm not running a calculator, but
we try not to point those things out.
Nope.
Harvick, Briscoe, Truex, McDowell, Priest, Gibbs, and Johnson were all involved in some way. Johnson appears to have the least amount of damage.
We knew that this was
then I'd say Gibbs, and then
maybe stops could do this. I mean, everybody that's come out ahead of these packs that are coming, they have to do what they have to do to protect. Unfortunately, it just gets that jam up like that, and it's beyond an accordion. It's a slam fest at that point.
So end of the day for these guys, beyond devastation, this is the biggest one, the biggest race of the year. But who's the advantage go to? Harrison, Burton, Logano, Byron, Busch, Kyle Larson up front. Who hurt him? Keselowski, Buescher, Cindric, Almirola, those guys in the back, they were trying
17 to go. Harrison Burton's best finish is third. That was at Indy last year.
And Harrison Burton is the race leader, Jamie.
And it's interesting, Mike, because he wanted to pit with the fours, but he was up on top of the track. He couldn't get down, so they came in and pitted, just took fuel. But Brian Wilson, his crew chief, just told him on the radio, at this point, we are 1 to 2 laps short. I need you to save everything you got.
The Wood brothers last went to victory lane in the Daytona 500 with Trevor Bayne in 2011. Only Bayne's second Cup race. But Leonard Wood, the master at minimizing mechanical drag, had massaged that car, and that was probably the fastest car in Daytona that day. And Trevor Bayne drove it like he stole it for the Wood brothers' 99th win in their NASCAR history, which dates to 1949. 16 laps to go in Daytona.
So, I watched my first race yesterday.
You're on the team, kid. It's orientation day.
Oh man, we have 17 to go. $16 to go. Noble drives out a 500 win. Ned Jarrett, Rusty Wallace. Tony Stewart, of course, is in there. Mark Martin.
Ned Jarrett, champions Rusty Wallace and Tony Stewart. Mark Martin, 29 starts.
Truex and Kyle Busch.
Martin Truex is out of the race, and Kyle Busch is currently in 4th place. The Harley J. Earl Trophy, named for the longtime General Motors chief stylist. That's the Firebird 1 atop the trophy that Bill France is promoted to. Presented to every Daytona 500 winner. Let's get out of the desk and Chris Myers and Jamie McMurray.
Thank you, Mike. It's the race the driver's got to have on his resume, and you do have that. Right now, Jamie McMurray, who's in the best position to win?
Well, we talked about Kyle Busch earlier in the race, had the pit road speeding penalty, got a lap down, he got the lap back. He is in 4th place right now. The second Chevy in line, I think he's in a really good position.
And Fords have been difficult, and they've worked well together.
Well, they have, and we've seen Brad and his teammate Chris Buescher be able to work together. together. But Chris, what's coming up right now, we're going to have this restart.
The importance of the restart.
Yeah, the restart's going to be more important than ever. And last year we did not have the choose rule at this type track at Daytona and Talladega. We have that this year. We have 2 Fords in the first 2 positions, 7 Chevys lined up behind that, and then you have to go all the way back to Brad Keselowski in 10th. This is going to be the most important restart, if it's the last one of the entire race.
And what do you base the decision on?
Well, it's going to be about being with a teammate or being with your manufacturer. And we talked about that's going to come into play until the very end. And it's the Daytona 500. I don't care if it's my teammate the last couple of laps. I'm going for the win.
Denny Hamlin said, who can you trust at this point? Whatever driver is in that spot, he hopes he can trust him to get the help. 13 last lap passes, Mike, have decided the Daytona 500 in history. We've gone to 11 overtimes before it's been decided. Looking forward to the finish here.
Thanks, Chris. I am surprised that Chris
restarting with 13 to go.
Brad Keselowski, after spending all that long run drafting together as teammates at the front of the field, chose different lanes for this restart. They'll have to find each other. Regan.
Mike, you see the 22 of Joey Logano selected the bottom there to go alongside of his somewhat teammate in the 21 car, Harrison Burton. The discussion was pretty short and simple. Our best chance to win is to go to the bottom. Now that we're getting to the end, the pay window is open. We're seeing these guys do whatever is best for them no matter what.
Thanks, Regan. By the way, Trevor Bayne's win for the Wood Brothers was their 98th. Ryan Blaney also scored one. This is Kim Burton, and she's a nervous wreck. If you're a long-time fan, her husband Jeff was racing, and her son Harrison leads.
Yep, the Kim Cam, I remember they called it. She would lose it every time Jeff Burton would lead her. It was
reminds me of 1996 when Dale Jarrett won the Daytona 500, and his mom Martha sat in a van in the infield.
93.
She wanted to see that her son's car go by, but just once a lap, she didn't want to watch the whole race. And we lost Martha a couple weeks ago, and we miss her. Our condolences to Ned and the Jarrett family. They're the Thunderbirds. The pilot's watching after putting.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Awesome show, the best one I've ever seen here.
All right, it's nighttime now.
Family of Canadian racer Trevor Boyes, who recently passed. He competed in a number
Pace
of
car pulls off. We're green again.
On the lead lap, 11 Fords, 13 Chevys, and 6 Toyotas. Here we go.
Oh no, Harrison was going to try to get down. Is Logano going to let him? Logano got a pretty good start with him. They were door to door. He does not get down in front of his Ford teammate, Logano.
No. Pushing in half. Pushing in half.
I don't necessarily think that was by design. I think he was trying to get a jump on Logano and get down in front of him. Did not accomplish that.
In a Wood Brothers owned car, prepared at the Team Penske shops.
Getting a push from Kyle Busch.
Four-car Penske group, but not
inside lane, chugging though.
Too close to the finish.
Here comes Logano.
Looks like Joey Logano said. He's friends with him in the bus lot. Once he gets that helmet on, not a friend anymore.
Byron to second. Outside lane stack up. Allmendinger in third.
Was wanting to go to that outside. He was
ooh, Logano went scrubbed under the yellow line. Oh boy. Oh. Oh fuck. Damn it. Damn it.
And he's going to get shuffled.
Damn it.
William Byron.
Here comes Allmendinger to the inside. And the Stinger takes the lead.
Allmendinger.
From a lap down.
Damn, Byron just fell back outside the top. Oh, there. Whoa, boy.
Saved it. He and Burton had contact.
It's time. 12 to go. The Daytona 500's on the line. Get them on their feet.
Allmendinger, Larson, Suarez, Burton, but oh! Damn!
He put Kyle Busch in the wall, not intentionally, just ran out of room there.
Here comes Keselowski. Oh man, we're heating up.
Keselowski and Chris Buescher.
Oh my God.
Side together.
Johnson in the top 5. Or
look now, some guy that's won 7 championships sneaking into this mix as well.
There he is. My dad always talked about the fact that he would just hide in the back, and then when the time was right, he'd make his way to the front. Because I did not watch most races from the Johnson era. Keselowski on the outside has the run. Oh my God, we're coming to 10 laps to go.
Time schedule back in NASCAR and right there in the mix as they come to 10 to go.
Call it racing. A.J. Allmendinger in the front of this thing. Got good company. Somebody's going to have to go through those RFK cars to win this race. Very, very strong.
And he's
well, Roush all the way to the lead now.
You can expect the unexpected from him.
Man, like a bunch of cars just like fell back. I can't even. What happened to Ty Gibbs?
Chevy's on the inside. Allmendinger, Larson, Suarez.
Hey, all race long we've been talking about the strength and numbers, those Fords. Now look, now they're the odd man out. Only 2 of them up front.
Oh, he's in 30th.
Up behind them. That's why you never know who's going to win this race.
But they're 2 teammates, and they've drafted together all day.
Oh, my God.
Remember Kyle Busch told Tom Rinaldi this morning, boy, it's not if I win the Daytona 500.
It's when I win.
It's when.
He's in 3rd behind the Roush boys.
A pair of teammates and a pair of teammates.
Was not a good lap for A.J. Allmendinger. Got shuffled out on the inside. Left him out. Went straight to the back.
9 to go.
2 Fords, 4 Chevys. A Ford, a Chevy, a Ford, and the
Hey, I didn't realize. Now it's RFK and RCR up front. Now the top 5 seem to bring away. Ricky Stenhouse in 6th. Defending champion Larson in 7th. I mean, Logano in 7th. And then the previous champion, Larson in 8th. Behind him, it's defending 500 winner Cindric. And Daniel Suarez finishing the top 10 right now.
Excuse me, the leader at the white flag didn't win the race. Unbelievable. 4 out of 7 leaders of the white flag finished outside the top 10. You never.
Oh wait, Ty Gibbs is a lap down? What happened? Did he take damage?
In the 3. He has a Daytona 500 win.
There's no, yeah, my scoring says Ty Gibbs is now a few laps down.
I think he's Busch's wingman to try to get these.
Oh, Ty Gibbs at a flat tire.
For Busch to win the 500.
I don't disagree at all. That I mean, you ultimately at the end of the
8
day,
to go.
in a perfect scenario, want your teammate with you. So this is a perfect scenario for both Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon. They want to work together to get.
Got a Penske duo lined up now.
500 victory.
Pop's liking what he sees.
There's Ty Gibbs up there going another. Yeah, he just gets lapped again. Gonna be 7 laps to go.
1969 brought his Camaro here to run the Grand American race.
The top 3 have never won the 500.
There he is. They'll have to get past 2 of the Fords that have been among the fastest cars.
And Roush, his how many 500s does he have? I think 1 or 2. No, 2 with Kenseth.
His stable to have the likes of Dale Earnhardt, and he's found him in Kyle Busch.
Now Kyle Busch dominated his duel, wrecked late, had to go to a backup car, and now he's in a position to win. You think back to 2021, 2 teammates were leading, and then they wrecked on the final lap.
Be careful how he does that. You get that
And it let the 3rd place car come to victory.
There,
6 to go. Look, oh, there's McDowell, looks slow.
Single file, man, top 8 cars here.
You have to wait. You have to be patient, Tony. You go too soon, it gives everybody behind you a chance to pounce on you.
29 cars in the lead lap. 9 cars in this lead pack. Then a gap back to Kyle Larson and Daniel Suarez.
How do you work on this if you're Kyle Busch? You've got 2 cars to pass. How do you use those 2 teammates, those 2 allies behind you? Do you back them up?
I think you have to. I think you have to get separated from those first 2 cars. It's going to take
5 to go.
Rebuild and regenerate that
Oh my God! Oh my God! Of the lead pack, we have 3 winners of the 500. Cindric, Logano, and Austin Dillon.
Keselowski has an ace in his corner. TJ Majors is a veteran of super speedway racing on the spotter stand.
Keselowski hasn't won it. It's been almost, but it's about a year and 3 quarters. The last one was at Talladega in 2021.
Joining RFK, adding his name as an ownership, driver owner in this thing. If he can pull this off, this is what this vision.
Oh, here comes Stenhouse looking on the top side. Nope.
You know he's going to go. He's not going to want to wait around.
That's let some of the car. That's let Christopher Bell. He's getting a run to catch up, and Larson might as well. 4 to go.
4 to go.
When do you make your move, Tony?
I've been trying to figure that out for 3 laps now, bud. I'll be honest.
I don't think Buescher makes the move.
No, I didn't want
He's
to talk about
racing
him.
with his boss.
I wasn't talking about him.
Right.
No. We're talking about
that 8 ball.
Oh, Gary Lowe's, here they come.
They're moving back there. Outside, Chris. Go back and get Chris to you.
Kyle Busch on the outside with Austin Dillon. William Byron joins him as well. A bit of separation between the 6 and the 17. And Kyle Busch to the lead with 4 to go as we're going through the final 2 turns on the track. And Stenhouse goes to 4th. And it looks like those Roush boys are going to be railroaded. Oh, man.
Did not see that coming.
Sorry, I'll quiet.
And Keselowski
man.
goes from being the leader
3 to go.
6th, just like that.
The top 3 numbers, 8, 3, 24. Oh, like the 3 winningest numbers on super speedways. Thinking about the Earnhardts and Jeff Gordon. Oh my God. I'm not looking at chat. I'm just looking at the racetrack. Oh my God.
This is a question, Tony. He said 3 of the last 6, the winner only led the last lap. If you're Kyle Busch, if you're Austin Dillon, when do you make that move?
Oh, man.
I've always said this. I think you have to lead at the white flag, because if that caution comes out, you're done. The race is over. There's a caution.
Oh, we got a Rex Suarez, and we're going overtime. Oh, come on. Really? Oh, flat tire. Damn.
Well, that changes everything.
It sure does.
And that is not what Pop wanted to see right there.
Nope.
Okay. This is where the new rule, moving the choose cone, is really going to get interesting. You're going to stack up 2 teammates. You know where they're going to go. Right on each other's tail, bumper to bumper. What is William Byron in a Chevy, Logano in a Ford, Keselowski in a Ford, Stenhouse in a Chevy? It's a mixed bag behind them.
Randall Burnett, crew chief, and Richard Childress, team owner, had hoped to see their
Travis Pastrana P19 is hilarious, by the way.
Finish, but now Daniel Suarez, there's the AMR safety team on the scene, and quickly they'll get that car removed. He wants to get going.
We're heaving that thing out right now.
Well, good call. That car's still running. He can still finish this race, so the steps record gets up there, gives him a boot.
That's right.
And maybe he can get back in this race. All right, Kyle Busch was leading at the caution flag.
Back in 1998, that would be the win, boys. Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, man. We're going to have a green light checker here. We're plenty good on fuel, so.
Wow. Back in 1998, there was a crash off turn number 4. Dale Earnhardt came to the caution flag, not the checkered flag, but the caution flag, to win the Daytona 500, because back then we did not have overtime. 20 years it took Earnhardt, who won everything else there was to win at Daytona, to join this world's longest receiving line.
You don't remember that, do you, Larry?
Yes, I do. And I told him, hey, don't celebrate. We have to get back around the checkered flag. I think that lap 199 under caution with the track clear was about as fast as before the caution came out.
I want you to take a look at this car. You don't see any Goodyear letters on the left side. The right side's got concrete dust all over it. That boy wants to win this race. He told us he was going to win it. He just might.
Well, and remember that the concrete on the right side came from Harrison Burton, shoving him to the outside wall. Nothing to do with Harrison's fault, just an incident that got him all moved up like that. You hardly see a car win this race anymore that's clean.
It's Kyle Busch's 18th Daytona 500.
Oh, Lord, let me check
This would put
chat.
him in some awfully good
I know it's been a pretty...
It sure would. And I think it speaks volume about taking this opportunity.
Low-key
You hear people,
chat.
did he take a step backwards, leaving the 18 car at Joe Gibbs Racing? I said from day one, that Randall Burnett, that guy was poised and ready for this opportunity. This
Well,
was
at least I
exactly
hit
what
100
RCR
views.
needed. He's the driver for them. I'm telling you, he has the likes on the racetrack as a Dale Earnhardt does. I think it's going to be a big year for them.
He is the most polarizing driver in the sport, as Dale Earnhardt was. Kyle Busch may not be the best of all time, but I've said it before and again, he's the best of his time.
Yeah, and you know, like we talked about, a lot of people would say this was a step back going back to Richard Childress Racing, and that it would take time to build back up to where they ultimately want to be. I don't see
Thank
it
you
either.
to whoever
I think we
subscribed.
saw it when we were at LA at the Coliseum. We're seeing it today. This is a guy that always has the bit in his teeth, and to make a move like this, he's not going to go backwards to go forward. He's just going to pick up and go forward.
All right, let's hear from the runner-up, his teammate, Austin Dillon.
I'm going to be screwed if the Fords are behind me. I don't know. That's a 24 average. Just make them push you. Just make them push you. It's not easy. Whoever's getting pushed is going to get wrecked, or, yeah, that's about it, actually.
Oh, gee.
That's not a good feeling, Mike.
I can't believe Blaney's now on the lead lap. 29 cars on the lead lap right now.
You do everything you can do to make that block. It's when we talk about that rear view mirror and everything in the back glass. It's just so important when it comes down to crunch time.
So we now have NASCAR overtime, which is a 2-lap shootout. If the leader takes the white flag under green, the next flag will end the race. We saw it happen last night when caution came out on the back straightaway. And if that happens, NASCAR will use all available video evidence to determine positions at the moment the button is pushed that activates the caution lights. So they will come to the choose, and I'll bet there's so much chatter right now over which lane do you want, who do you want to be behind, and who do you want to be beside.
Well, I think you know where you want to be. Problem is you have to wait and see what they're going to do. Put the cards on the table. It's time.
29 lead lap cars, and here's the choose.
Oh!
Split up.
Didn't expect that.
Didn't it? Yeah. Austin Dillon splitting with Kyle Busch, and he's got the Chevrolet help behind him.
Lined up behind us. Taking a green lap 202.
Yeah,
why wouldn't those teammates go nose to tail?
Because Austin Dillon's going to let him in. That's the plan right along. You're going to see Kyle Busch move up, but we've seen this before. That William Byron in a 24 car, if he pushes that 3 too hard, doesn't let that 8 in, that's a problem. How about 22? We saw this with Brad Keselowski. If that 22 pushes him out too far, they get too far, and now everybody goes by him. This is a tricky restart.
So instead of actually thinking that he's going to let his teammate in, is this an opportunity where they just keep the whole front row occupied and settle it between themselves on the last lap?
I like what you're trying to sell. No chance. That 8 car's only chance of winning this race is to get in front of those 2 Chevrolets. He's got 2 Fords behind him. No way they're going to let him win this thing.
Right. I can't buy that because unlike the start of the race where everybody was content to Noah's Ark this thing and run 2x2x2, this track is 3 lanes wide, maybe 4 in the straightaways.
But hey, that's a race car driver. That's a champion race car driver that said that.
All right, here we go. Oh my God. It's going to be 5 miles to the finish.
Nobody's sitting in them. They're all on their feet.
That's all right. They rested the majority of the day. But this is what I'm ultimately worried about. If they try to hold that inside lineup to let him get around on the outside, do they slow the inside lane down so much that they can't build that momentum back before that outside row just goes right on by?
In my opinion, we know what the front row is going to try to do. The next row, the second row, they can dictate what they may have to do.
Now, if they just don't all pile up from 6th on back, this is going to be one heck of a finish. Overtime, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Pace car is in.
Here we go.
To settle the 65th Daytona 500.
Kyle Busch, a great start.
Austin Dillon lets him into the inside. Logano comes up.
And here comes Logano on the outside.
It's going to take them a while to get connected.
Oh, man.
Outside bumper. Your top is clear. Your top is clear. 3 is not. 1 back. 2x2.
Everybody on the outside pushing.
Oh, man.
Links in the chain.
If you're Logano, you're not exactly in good company.
Here comes the 22. Man on the outside. Oh! Inside lane stack up. But, oh! Here comes the 47 of Ricky Stenhouse. Oh! The 3 crashes. And the 24 gets involved. Fuck me. Really? Oh, come on.
Roughly half the remaining field.
We always say it, cautions breed.
Fuck. Sorry. Oh, that hurts. That. That one sucked. That one definitely sucked. Is Johnson in it too?
Sideways, jacked up. They had to lift accordions.
So how did the energy build back there to take the lead away from the Childress cars?
It all starts when you do the crossover. Jimmy Johnson.
And there goes Johnson. Great.
Doing everything he needed to do to be a part of this finish. But it all starts on the crossover. We've seen this before. When he makes that move and crosses over, it takes time to build that energy back up when it stacks them up. That all carried back around to the back straightaway to what you see right here.
Christopher Bell drops in, and Dillon may have got a shot from William Byron. Maybe not. Not sure from that angle, but up he went, and down he came.
Dillon got in the back of Busch and had to check up. When he did, it stacked William and everybody up behind him. They turned him. The rest is history. That's just a product of it. It's go time.
Well, Cindric's involved in the wreck, so we're not going to have the repeat.
But aside from that, great move by Ricky Stenhouse.
Pastrana's up to 12th, which is odd.
Harrison Burton. And we'll ride along with Noah Gragson. There's Gragson off to the left. We'll ride with him next.
Nothing you do. Along for the ride.
And the driver's eye view from Ross Chastain.
Boy, never lifted.
Austin Cindric. Well, that's what 190 miles an hour looks like when it goes all the wrong way.
This whole thing takes me back to this choose cone rule. That difference in a choose cone rule coming to these plate tracks like Daytona, Talladega, that's why Stenhouse is in the lead.
And every time the 24 can't catch a break. The best we've done so far.
Stacked up on that bottom line. Out of nowhere, he was in a situation where he got to spit Logano out. That lonely Ford had the help of a Chevy and Larson behind him. So I'll be darned, we're leading this thing.
Let's set the field for you. Among the cars that got through there unscathed, JTG Doherty's driver, Ricky Stenhouse, for Tad and Jody Geschechter, and NBA legend Brad Doherty. He's leading the Daytona 500. He's won at Daytona, the summer race here.
How the hell is Travis
Larson,
Pastrana
this race
so high up?
outside pole for Team Hendrick, is second in a Chevrolet. Christopher Bell, who's had quite an up-and-down day for Joe Gibbs, and his Toyota is third. Joey Logano for Team Penske is fourth. There's Jimmy Johnson climbed out of his car. He's okay. Car's done for the day. Logano is fourth. He's the first Ford in the race. And there, Kyle Busch. You saw get shuffled back a little by some of the moves in traffic. But he's in it to win it, and so is A.J. Allmendinger for Team Kaulig. Hamlin, Bowman, Wallace, Almirola, rest of the top 10.
Cody Ware in P14.
Clears that A to Kyle Busch. He's going to make a move. There he goes. He knows the help's coming. Look at that inside line stack up. It just was a perfect case scenario for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And he was there for the taking.
If you're Ricky, you absolutely take that shot and take that chance. The thing that he doesn't know is that the 5 is right to him at the back. If he's pushing him when he makes that move, he's gone.
And then you take a chance of turning Logano in front of you because he was on the bumper of him. That was dicey, very close.
Multiple hits there for Harrison Burton.
Well,
don't tell me this is not a violent sport.
Yeah.
Took his hands off the wheel in case one of those front tires snapped against the wall and just jerked that wheel and caused a wrist injury.
Yeah, the biggest thing you want to get, most of all, you want to get your thumbs out of those spokes so that the spoke doesn't catch your thumb on the way by. Austin says, I'm not letting go anything. No, I'm driving mine.
He's still driving it. You're right. Now, just outside the top 10, Keselowski and Buescher, that drafting pair of RFK Fords, they still have a shot at this.
Hey, did you not see who's in between them? Travis Pastrana, how about him? He's still in it, baby.
We joked at the top of the day, and I told the folks up when Elliott and I were up in the Sunoco suite, I said, watch these two guys. I said, watch Connor Daly in the 50 and Travis Pastrana in the 67. Do they have a chance to win the Daytona 500? Probably not. But a chance at a top 10 finish if their day goes well and they stay out of trouble? Absolutely.
You give Travis Pastrana a top 10 finish at the Daytona 500, I'm going to give you the best interview you've ever heard
Chastain,
in your life.
Cindric, Dillon, Keselowski, Hamlin, Herbst, Burton, Byron, Haley, Smith, Gillen, Gregson, Johnson, and
If he finishes in the top 10, you're going to think he won X Games gold again.
It's Daytona. We've seen crazier things happen. It can, and it just might.
He is 12th right now. Ricky Stenhouse from Olive Branch, Mississippi, leads the Daytona 500 as we get ready for overtime.
I've got 3 Daytona 500s, including the 2 closest finishes in history. Stay with us on Fox.
Player of the Year
I'm gonna go
candidate,
pee
Zach
real
Beatty
quick.
and third-ranked Purdue. Wow! Take on Trace Jackson Davis in Indiana. Fox Primetime Hoops, Saturday at 7:30 Eastern.
What a privilege it is for you to have me here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry, I'm going to get them all tonight.
16 recruits started. 4 of you remain.
There are only 2 episodes left.
We're in attack, let's go!
Now, it's all about survival.
Anyone at any time could be gone, just like that.
Special Forces World's Toughest Test, all new Wednesday on Fox. Let's take a journey through this great nation.
I want to see what they saw. I want to see what changed them.
This land of the free.
We're fixing to get filthy, stinking rich boys.
This home of the brave.
I always wanted to be that person to help somebody out when they needed it.
Big stars.
Grab a glass and join us.
Has anybody else been fired recently?
Big ideas. America is born. Welcome home.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome to Fox Nation. America is streaming.
Overtime at the Daytona 500. We're live at trackside. Jamie McMurray, Chris Myers. We'll get back to the guys in the booth in just a moment here. The late aggressiveness has brought out crashes and some cautions. We saw Ricky Stenhouse Jr. go from 6th to the lead in a matter of moments here. How far back can you be right now, Jamie, and still have a chance to win this?
Yeah, well, I mean, Ricky was able to go from 3rd row outside. He lined up on the 6th car all the way to the lead before they got to the backstretch, Chris. I think if you're in those first 4 rows, listen, the level of aggression, we talked about it was going to get higher and higher. Right now, when you get connected to somebody, you're not letting off. You're gonna. It doesn't matter, teammate, no teammate. I think all of those rules are out the window. I think you can go from 4 rows back.
What matters? Where does experience figure in at this moment?
Well, and listen, at this point, it's all about a little bit of circumstantial. I mean, Kyle Busch has the experience. He had his teammate behind him, but they weren't able to stay locked together. Not necessarily because he did something wrong, just circumstantial. We talk about a little bit of luck. You're gonna have a little bit of luck right now to win the 500.
We're close to the action and trying to bring you a little bit closer back up to Mike, Tony, and Clint.
Going to need fuel if you're going to win the 500.
Yeah, 7 drivers. Of those that stopped earlier and had just enough fuel to finish, they've come in to top off, which means they think we may have more than one overtime. We're going to keep going as long as this takes.
I'm going to tell you they were getting close on fuel.
All right, Regan.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s crew chief Mike Kelly. Mike, you guys have kept that car clean all day long. Your driver got it to the front. What do you tell him coming to this restart here?
Just tell him to go do his job. Ricky's done a good job for us all day, and we'll see what happens here at the end.
Thanks, Mike. Josh?
Well, Kyle Busch's crew chief.
Oh, man.
Here. How do you guys handle this next restart?
Well, I couldn't quite hear you there, but Kyle's been doing a great job tonight in this 3G Chevy, and we just didn't have it go our way on that last restart, so we're going to have to make up for it on this time and just see what happens here.
Thanks and good luck, guys.
Thanks, Josh. There's Kyle, and the number of contenders gets smaller with every caution flag. Overtime, 2 laps, green, white checker, 52 lead changes so far in today's Daytona 500. Only twice in 64 years have there been more, and we're not done yet.
Yeah, this has got potential to have another caution or so, but this is going to be an awesome restart. We've got guys that are all split up, guys that don't have teammates anymore, guys that are with different manufacturers. Who knows what is going to happen now?
We've been down here for 500 miles telling you guys you're going to need to manufacturer help. You're going to need your teammate help. None of them have that now. That choose cone rule, I'm telling you, it's coming to effect in a big way, and it's going to again on this restart. You're going to have to find somebody. You're going to have to give them behind you and not let them around. Blocks are going to come, and that's probably going to mean another caution.
All right, what's going to happen? Who do you like?
Well, I can tell you what's going to happen. Nobody is going to just ease into somebody's back bumper. Anything that's going to be a push is going to be wide open. And if the driver in front can hang on to it, then hopefully it produces. But I can't even predict who's going to finish on the top.
We're still under caution.
Well, my guy's out. I was 19 on 19 on 19, whatever. I'm going with the 5 car. I think Kyle Larson's going to win this race.
Well, Steppenwolf had a song, The Pusher Man. It meant something completely different. But when I hear that, I see Brad Keselowski.
I don't disagree, and Brad is historically the last couple years been one of the hardest pushers in the field,
Yeah.
So he's definitely not gonna ease up on this.
I think they've had the fastest cars, so that you're not out around there. That car is.
All right, let's take a look back and review in this 65th Daytona 500. Stage 1, not a single caution in stage 1, even with Bubba Wallace getting tipped up there into the outside wall with a little bit of damage. Kyle Busch getting a speeding penalty. A car did spin in stage 1, but it got to pit road without incident. There's the first multi-car pileup. And Tyler Reddick in the 45 getting turned around, knocked out of the race, and taking several others with him.
Need a hizzle off the Prizzle for shizzle for green, white checker too.
Getting turned by Michael McDowell in an accordion-like fashion. Neither one of them started the wreck. They were both in the midst of finishing it. And then Daniel Suarez spinning to the inside as we were coming to 2 laps to go with the 2 Richard Childress cars of Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon out front. And finally this, Ricky Stenhouse drops to the inside, makes a great move there, but Austin Dillon gets turned into another car, and then he and William Byron go careening up the racetrack into the wall. Mayhem ensues.
You know what the top team running order has all in common? They were all a part of every one of those highlight reels right there. The 5 car was around sideways. He spun out in one of them. The 20, Christopher Bell, he was in one of those wrecks. He's up there. That's what you got to do. You heard Denny. All of us talk about it. Surviving this race, getting to this opportunity, that's what it's all about.
5th and 6th both a lap down at one point. I mean, we've had a little bit of everything, and it's a mixture of guys still left in the top 10.
All right, here's the choose.
Oh boy.
Stenhouse the leader, Larson second. They're both in Chevys.
Where you going? How about that? Split them up again.
Bell in the Toyota down, Logano in the Ford up.
Kyle barely made that. Kyle Busch, that is.
Yep. Allmendinger down, Busch up. Hamlin the inside, Bowman the outside.
A lot of energy taking that bottom, especially back in the pack. That's where that energy's built from.
Ready to decide it, Larry?
Yeah, what's interesting with all of those Fords pitting, Joey Logano is the lone Ford right now inside the top 10. And it's kind of a mix. There's like 4 or 5 Chevrolets, there's 3 or 4 Toyotas, and that 1 Ford right now.
This will be the longest Daytona 500 in history because of the extra caution laps and the overtime. I don't want to put an S on that just yet.
This is a mano-a-mano, no holds barred right here. Every man for himself.
The longest 500 in history.
Anybody that they can trust.
Well, it's the start of a long season, but come on. Either win the Daytona 500 or bring me back the steering wheel.
I don't care about the rest of the season. This is one of those scenarios. You take the boxing gloves off. This is a bare-knuckle street fight the rest of the way out. Or, if you're Dana White, this is a slap fest on the way out.
Man, I was hoping you'd get that in.
Yeah, that boy.
Now, we have 8 drivers that stopped 6 laps earlier on fuel than the rest of them, and they are the first 8. However, we don't know if they got those cars completely full or if they did a timed stop just to get them to the end of, say, 1 overtime.
210 laps today, most all time. Previous high 209 in 2020. Okay, again, it's probably all right. Anyway, here we go. Pace car's gonna pull off. 2 to go.
Stenhouse, Larson, the front row Chevrolet. Bell in Toyota, Logano and Ford in row 2, Chevys in row 3, Allmendinger in Busch. Here we go. One more try at overtime.
Good push from Logano to Stenhouse. Logano is definitely looking for that win. He's the only Ford, one of the few Fords in the top 10. Bell pushing Larson pretty well too.
AJ Allmendinger is off of Bell. That's not good for those guys. Bowman on the outside getting a big push by Bubba. That's where all this energy is going to come from back here. The move's going to be made on the front, but it's going to be because of what they see in the rearview mirror. Here comes the 8.
A big push.
These guys are in trouble on the bottom. Here comes Bubba. Here comes a little bit of help, but they're going to need more
Comes
than
Logano.
just those 2.
Bowman drops to the inside. His teammate Kyle Larson is the first car on the inside.
He's going to stall out. Stenhouse still out front.
He's all broke up now. Now we're going to see it
Ooh.
from behind.
Single file. Where did Bubba come from? Wow. Oh, Stenhouse going to get down to the bottom. Oh, no. Larson gets stuck 3 wide. Final lap. Here comes Stenhouse back on the inside. Logano's on the outside. Larson stuck in the middle. Oh, dear. Oh, it's a wreck. Pastrana involved. Oh, gee, a big wreck for final lap. Who's out front? Is it Logano or Stenhouse?
And we'll wait for official word on whether Ricky Stenhouse or Joey Logano has won the Daytona 500.
Stenhouse or Logano?
Come to the checker first, baby.
Christopher Bell in the mix. Those 3 cars out in front of the crash.
Slow down.
They'll have to cross the line, but one of them will win the Daytona 500.
What is Bell doing
If it's Logano, it's win number 32 and his second 500.
Chevy, Ford.
If it's Stenhouse, it's his 3rd win and his first in over 5 years.
It is not the flag, it is not the caution lights.
Yes, Stenhouse for the victory. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has won the Daytona 500. Oh my God, the first win for his team in 9 years. 3rd career victory. First for Chevrolet since 2018. Oh my God.
That's been a long time coming.
Holy crap.
He's been close. He's been knocking on the door on a track like this, and it's finally his turn. Daytona 500. That does not surprise me, Tony.
No,
not one bit.
He's fantastic on the super speedways like this, and he, like you mentioned earlier, he's very aggressive, but he's aggressive in a way that gets him to the front. It's not a reckless way. He just
oh my God.
He can to get there.
Look above your head. Look on that roll bar.
First win in 5.5 years.
I see ya.
Spotter Tab Boyd, crew chief Mike Kelly, team owners, husband and wife team.
Unbelievable. That's right. It's been 8.5 years actually for JTG. That's incredible.
Team. Stenhouse's best previous.
Pastrana will finish 14th. No, actually, no. We got to redo that.
42nd driver to win the Great American Race, and here it is.
I think the win comes from the 5. When the 5 moved up to try to go around him and lost that momentum, that gets the 5 in trouble. Here comes the energy. Bell filled that void, gives him a big shot. 5 gets turned around. Look, right there. He's in front of him and wins this Great American Race. Had the 5 stayed in front of him, the 5's going to be the one when I...
You know what?
think
I used
back
to
of
not
this
like
race,
Stenhouse,
he's
but you know
gonna
what?
be who would've,
He's gotten a lot
so
better
close.
with his racing. You know, not crashing as much. He's not as much of a meme. This is great for him. I'm great for that JTG team. Kroger's, Kroger. Oh man, Cottonelle. When last time they won a, have they ever won a race?
I ain't got no fuel.
Hey, bud, you don't need any more.
How about that? How about that? That's how close it was. You saw Busher, you saw a lot of other guys come in and top off.
That's incredible. So Stenhouse, Logano, Bell, Busher.
Change his life right there.
Wins in his 12th try for the Daytona 500. On the short tracks, on the dirt, sometime they called him Recky Spin Twice. Not today. Today.
No, they called him Recky Spinhouse.
Doesn't matter what happens the rest of his
Top,
life.
okay.
He is a Daytona 500
I think after Busher in 4th, it's Bowman, Allmendinger, Suarez, Blaney, Chastain, Herbst.
This is going to be a good celebration.
Who would have thought in this day of the 4-car mega teams that this little single-car team would come here and win the 500, Jamie Little?
Ricky Stenhouse.
Somehow Rick Ware Racing
it has
funding.
been a long time coming. The one difference, Mike Kelly, your crew chief, is back. You won 2 championships together, and now you won the Daytona 500. Was it just magic together that made the difference here?
Yeah, I think this whole offseason, Mike just preached how much we all believed in each other. They left me a note on the car that said they believe in me and to go get the job done tonight. I made a few mistakes. We were able to battle back. This Kroger Cottonelle team worked really hard.
This may be the first time that all 3 races ended under caution.
Hendrick engines, glad a Chevy won. We, man, this is unbelievable. This is the site of my last win back in 2017. We worked really hard. We had a couple shots last year to get a win and fell short. It was a tough season, but man, we got it done. Daytona 500.
You have a knack for this style of racing, and we went into overtime, so you had to do it a couple of times and earn it. What were those moments like, and what were you watching? What made the difference initially at the end?
Yeah, you know, when the 8 went to the bottom there, you know, I was able to push the 22 and the 5. We had a huge run. I was hoping we were going to get to the light there, and we didn't, so I knew I was going to take the top. I was hoping the 22 was going to follow, and he did. He was able to push us out. I went to the bottom, the 8 and the 22, you know, got a huge run. The 5, you know, split me in the middle, but another fellow dirt racer with Bell gave me a good shot down the little short chute into 1, and man, we were out front when the caution came out. We were out of fuel, so the fuel light was going crazy. But man, I hope y'all had fun. That was a heck of a race.
Congratulations. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. wins the Daytona 500.
Wow.
Joey Logano comes up short in this bid for his 2nd Daytona 500. Joey, you had a clear shot out front. You could see where you needed to be. What are the emotions right now?
Second's the worst, man. He was so close, and you know, leading the white flag lap there is up front. Kyle gave me a good push. And you know, you're watching in the mirror, and you're 3 wide across there. And
also noting, and the rookies battling out. Gregson, P24, Gibbs, P25.
I knew if I went to the bottom, my car didn't handle good enough, and I already got pushed off the bottom once, and I thought if I go down there, I'm probably going to get wrecked, and I don't know if I can get down there in time to throw the block, and so I didn't want to wreck my car either, and I don't know. And then you don't expect them to wreck. Like, you know, you think you're racing to the checkered flag, and you know, you put yourself in the best position to try to win at the start-finish line, and just caution came out. Yeah, you wish you could race to the end. Obviously, you can't, right? When they wreck that much. But congratulations to Ricky. Obviously, I mean, there's nothing like winning the Daytona 500. That's why it stings so much finishing 2nd. But still proud of the team. Still proud of the effort coming off the championship last year and bringing this Shell Penzo Mustang back towards the front and getting a Ford close to the front. Wish it was in victory lane though.
Thanks, Joey.
Ricky Stenhouse is a champion of the Daytona 500.
All right, I think this is where the stream ends tonight. Not, you know, I'm not surprised if these reports that happened last time. And I know people want to watch the race on the road. This is the B race. What a freaking race! Yeah, Derpy, you thought it was Bush time. You know what? It happens. blame Suarez for spinning out. But anyway, this is where it ends today. I'll be back for Auto Club for their final race at the 2 mile. That's Xfinity and Cup. Thank you all so much for turning out. This is BowserJrXD signing off.